Fade in, fade in, fade in, fade in, fade in.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Are you bummed that Luke didn't get sort of a reunion with Han Solo?
Absolutely. In fact, when I was reading it, I thought, if Leia's trying to mentally contact me and she's not successful, she'll rush to his aid. She'll get close to him and then get into some dire situation, and that's when I show up for a big yay, save her life. Then we rush to Han and are in the same position that Rey and Finn and Chewie are. Too late to save him, but witnesses. And I say, because it would carry so much emotional resonance into the next film. For us, his wife, his best friend to witness, instead of two characters that have known him, what, 20 minutes?
Well, you're assuming that I train Rey.
Exactly.
Sneaky.
Do I?
Sneaky.
I know I have to be really careful. People say, was it difficult to pick up and wield a lightsaber again? And I go, do I pick up?
Is it difficult acting in this movie? Am
Well,
I in this movie?
I can promise you my part is twice as big as it was in Force When I read 8, I told Ryan, I fundamentally disagree with virtually everything you've decided about my character.
Who is this guy? How did the most optimistic, hopeful character in the galaxy turn into this hermit who says it's time for the Jedi to end? I read that and I said, what? I mean, that's not what a Jedi does. I mean, a Jedi is optimistic. A Jedi has tenacity. He never gives up. He doesn't secrete himself on an island. But you'll...
Something that George initially set out to do was a kind of 3-act saga with these 3 trilogies. And I think we felt that we should honor and respect that.
Liar! Liar! Liar!
I think that the thing that George never did was maintain the status quo. And I think that that's really important because...
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you! I've kind of lost control of Star Wars, so it's going off in a different path than what I intended. But the first 6 are very much mine and my philosophy. And I think that philosophy sort of goes beyond any particular time, because it's based on history, it's based on philosophy, it's based on a lot of things. And you know, the first 3 basically tell you how a democracy turns into a dictatorship, and you end up with a tyrant, the emperor. It's a very important now, where we are now in our political history.
And as always, may the Force be with you.
I'm kind of retarded.
Fade in.
What's up, all my Ewoks, droids, and Wookiees? It's Anna, also known as that Star Wars girl, and we are going to be talking about He-Man, or She-Man, and the Masters of the Universe, considering this is going to be a show all about Teela. I don't dislike the character, but what they're doing is kind of what they've been doing with every franchise now. It's a bait and switch. It's like, hey, we're going to advertise this character that you love. Oh! And they're going to switch it out with the Mary Sue, or if it's an already established character like Teela, we're going to make her into a Mary Sue and take away everything you liked about her. But I'm not going to be alone talking about this today. I have a very special guest. This is somebody that I followed on Twitter for a long time. Turns out that we actually went to the same college. And so we know a lot of the same people. We kind of do similar things. I have admired his art from afar. And I'm happy, very, very happy to have him here on the channel. So everybody, welcome my friend Steven.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
What's up, Steven?
What's up?
You ready to talk about He-Man?
I am ready. Thank you for having me on.
No problem. For those that don't know, so Steven was kind of the one that got a lot of traction on Twitter for doing the redesigns of the Star Wars High Republic characters.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, they really liked that, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they loved it.
Let me show you guys a little bit what I'm talking about, because I remember one character, a lot of people were like, that looks like He-Man. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not complaining. I think it's a great.
Yeah.
This guy.
There we go.
Let's see if I can.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't get that he was supposed to look like He-Man. That was
I mean, I got it.
That was the point. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks great.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. It was a lot better than the. To be fair, you didn't have much to work with.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and some of these I kind of just did as a joke because partially a joke, you know, because people were complaining about the one I did before this one because it was a girl. I was like, oh, you made her look too feminine. Stuff. It's like, okay, well,
the chick. Yeah, I made mine look like a Karen because that's what they were advertising. I was like, weren't you going for the Karen?
Yeah.
Where is it? This chick, Avar.
Yeah, Avar Chris.
Yeah, and they're like, she's too pretty. She's
right.
too good. And I'm like, she looks great. Like, I know plenty of women that would cosplay as this character, and I don't know anyone that would want to cosplay as the other version.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking with that, but
didn't you do it again? Another one?
Yeah, this was yeah, they did 2 different versions, so I just like, okay, I'll just redraw them both. So
I think she looks great in both of them.
I thought so, but yeah.
I remember the one of the artists, Justine, or not the artist, the author, Justine Ireland, the lady that doesn't read books. She was like, are they going to put Yoda in a bikini?
Yeah.
And then you did Yoda.
Yeah. No shirt.
It's like, It's like, I wonder which one you were trying to make funny.
Right.
But yeah, we're going to talk about He-Man today. So, for everyone that does not know the situation with He-Man. So, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the one dude that cries about everything nowadays. Let me just, if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, let me see. So his name is Kevin Smith. I guess he used to be respectable. And then he turned into a Hollywood shill and cries about everything. And so let me show you guys. Let me just, so that we have some visuals up here. So this dude, Kevin Smith, is like Hollywood's go-to nerd guy, but it turns out that, you know, he just kind of sold out because he's famous now.
Mm-hmm.
And let me read the super chat. Angel, what's up? She says, Stephen, please fix Tila, I beg you.
I did I actually did a little Tila fix somewhere on my page when they first released that art. The first one with the side shaved head. Yeah, I just kind of like fixed that one, quote unquote, fixed it.
I would say improved. Whenever people are like, you did like a fix or you did a redraw, I'm like, no, I did an improvement. I did a free improvement. I did a free upgrade for you.
Right.
You're welcome. It's kind of like how fans, when they do like fan-made mods for video games, I gave you a fan-made mod. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
She says, I want to see. Do you think you could find that while I give a little explanation on why we're talking about this today?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Awesome. So everyone, what happened is that so Kevin Smith is Hollywood's token nerd. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't know too much about the dude. I never really watched any of his movies because my mother did not like his face. And so my mother would not buy the movies. So I've never seen his movies aside from I've seen like parts of Dogma, but I haven't seen all of it. So I don't know anything about Clerks or Clerks 2. So please don't spam the chat with that stuff. But one thing I do know is that I know like a fan of a franchise when I see one, especially when you hear somebody talk about a franchise, you know right away if somebody is like a Star Wars fan or somebody, and what type of Star Wars fan. It's like, are you a video game fan? Are you the prequels fan? Are you the originals fan? Are you the new deranged fan? Which one are you? Or even with Star Trek, it's like, okay, are you next gen, original, DS9? Like, you know, there's things that you talk about. Same with video games. It's like, what kind of video game fan are you? And it doesn't, you know, any type of them, except for the deranged Raylo type of fans. But if you're talking about something you don't know anything about, that sticks out like a sore thumb. Now, Kevin Smith did a show a long time ago that that was brought to my attention because I don't know very much about this man. Aside from, I guess he had a heart attack and he was high, so that's how he did not die. I knew that. But when it comes to He-Man, he has said a few times that he is not a He-Man fan, that he was never a He-Man fan. Now, there have been things that don't get introduced to people until they're older. And so it's like, sometimes a parent's like, no, you can't watch that because you're not old enough. And then you watch it when you're like an adult because your parents never let you watch it. And you're like, wow, I love this. I wish my mom and dad would have let me watch this earlier. That's completely understand. Like, I completely understand that. And you're just getting introduced to it. It's like me. My mom never let me play video games. So I didn't know really much about KOTOR. And then everyone's like, you got to play it. And then I played it and I fell in love with it. And Kevin Smith is backtracking, and even though he said multiple times that, which you actually found, Steven, so we'll get into that. He said on a show that he was never a fan of He-Man. He never really watched He-Man. And then you found a tweet where he basically straight up says like, oh, I've never been a fan of He-Man, but there's this exhibit. Like in his own words, multiple times, he's coming out saying that he's not a fan of He-Man. Let me see if I can find that tweet. But now, all of a sudden, he's doing videos promoting his new Masters of the Universe, which I get it. Hollywood, they're like, we don't know shit about this nerdy shit. This dude's our, like, token nerd. Let's have him do it. And so he's doing it. But he's pretending that he always liked it, even though if you actually want to go see how he really feels about it, I mean, you can go do your research just like you did, right?
Right. It's like, he's really been hyping it up, and it's like everywhere you see him, every interview, it's like, oh yeah, Kevin Smith, he's a big He-Man super fan, and but it's like when you look back at what he said before, it's like in that tweet, it's like that was like 10 years ago, and it was just like an off the cuff, hey, I was never a He-Man fan. So, it wasn't just, he was just being honest, It's like, and then there's like that video he did on his comic book show where he was like, yeah, I was never into He-Man either. It's like, just like little comments here and there, but it's like that says you weren't a fan. It's like, so now it just feels like you're just fake and kind of like, you've just been hired to kind of come on here and get the nerds in, quote unquote. And, so yeah, I don't have a whole lot of confidence in pretty much anything he says anymore. So I mean, I was never a big Kevin Smith fan before, but it's just like he really is just like kind of like the corporate nerd, you know what I mean?
He really is. And here's the thing, all he would have to do is say, hey, I was never really a big He-Man fan, but then I got this great job opportunity. And he's like, you know what? I'm a nerd. I don't know anything about it, so I decided to go watch the show, and I fell in love with it. Right. Everyone would be completely understanding of that, right?
Right. Like, yeah, I mean, you don't...
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, you don't have to be like a huge fan of something just to make it good, So exactly. It's okay to admit that, It's like, but when you kind of put on this front like, oh, yeah, I was a huge fan. It's like, or even if you allow other people to say that about you, it feels like you're trying to, sell something. It doesn't really feel genuine.
Exactly. I'm trying to find. Okay, here we go. I found the tweet. So this is the tweet that Steven found. Let me zoom in a bit. So it's been deleted since then, but this is from 2010, so 11 years ago. I wasn't a He-Man fan, but Gallery 1988 is running an awesome Masters of the Universe art show. Look. Like in his own words. So it's like, so you're just lying to us, dude. Because then you go and you, let me go see if I can find it on it's on Netflix's YouTube channel. But so now he's doing promos for every single time that they release a trailer for the Masters of the Universe show. And what is he doing? He's doing a breakdown talking about how awesome it is. He's like, yeah, if you guys grew up watching this like I did. And he's like, yeah, I remember I would come home from school and I would watch it with my, my mom would have it on and I would watch it. But then he's explaining, he's like, oh yeah, it was back in this year. And I'm like, He-Man didn't come out till the next year, dude.
Right.
Like it wasn't even out then. Like you would think that this guy that's working on, because he said he's been working on it for 2 years, which I believe because animation does take an incredibly long time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's like, dude, you've been working on this for 2 years and you don't know when He-Man came out? Like, get your story straight. And this is one of the big things with lying. It's like the second you decide to lie, you're going to have to lie for the rest of your life. And you're going to have to make sure that you get all your facts right, which is why lying is completely pointless and it's a waste of time and energy. Because that time that you spend lying about something, you could actually be honest and not have to worry about keeping up the lie forever, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, because you have to, you tell a lie and then you have to remember which lie you told, and then
and who you told what to, and
yeah, exactly. And then at some point you're gonna trip yourself up, and I think that's kind of like what we're seeing now. It's like,
let's see. Yeah, so this Netflix is doing this show or this thing now where they release the trailer and then they have, oh, is it not here anymore? Oh, it's on here. That's why. And then they have him doing like a reaction to it.
Yeah, I've seen
and he's explaining like what they're doing. But it's like you're faking everything.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just it's like I've noticed the difference. Like when he's like on Twitter talking to He-Man fans, it's like he puts on a certain a certain kind of personality, and it's different when he's doing like interviews with I think it was like Polygon or something. He's doing an interview about He-Man, and of course it was all about, well, yeah, that show was really white before, and we're making it more diverse and inclusive and this and that. And it's like, well, see, he doesn't talk like that when he's on Twitter. He's just like, oh yeah, this is the He-Man that you loved and we haven't changed a thing and it's gonna be great. And it's like and it's like everything Netflix promotes about the show is like different than what he does.
Oh, 100%. Like now the news just came out today. Well, so actually we should probably go in order, but I'll just touch on the thing that came out today. So He-Man's grandfather, they did a race swap. So He-Man, Prince Adam, blonde hair, blue-eyed white dude, has a black granddaddy. Did you see that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw it. Yeah. They I noticed it in the trailer, and I thought that was just another, because I don't know, they're doing some kind of time travel thing or something. And so I just thought that was another version of He-Man or something, like, and then
did you watch Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I watched some of it. I didn't watch the whole thing full through.
Did you ever see when Aang was able to talk to the other avatars, and so you just see all of them?
Yeah, I saw.
So when I saw that little clip in the trailer, and it's like all the past like He-Man or He-Man, however you correctly say that,
right?
I'm just like, are you ripping off Avatar now? You're gonna go show all the past He-Man that came before Prince Adam, and that's how we found out that one of them was black. I'm like, really?
Okay. Yeah, I did have that feeling now that you mention it. Yeah. And they because somebody pointed out that was actually like King Grayskull. That was like the first He-Man, his ancestor. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Like, I mean, not only it's like it's so, and then it was actually well, did you see the tweets from today where it was the director of the show saying why he did it?
I think I saw some of it. I was trying to keep as close attention to it as possible, but then I got distracted with the
yeah.
Let me see if I can find them, because I might have retweeted it. But do you want to give us a summary of what happened?
Yes. Somebody on Twitter is in the Facebook group with the director of the show. He's the director, or he's some Netflix executive. I know he's working on the show. And who is it? Kaylee Paley on Twitter. I think she's in the group, and she posted like some screenshots of what he said. And he's like, I mean, there's actually,
yes, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Well, you can still explain it. I'll find it and get it up here for everyone.
Well, yeah, just basically it's like in the group, there's like a fan who's like a black guy, and he's like, it's It's like, why are you race swapping? It's like, I don't want this. This feels like a hand me down. Just make a new black character. And the director, you know, this guy's white. He's like, well, look, black people need to feel, they need a character like this to look up to, and nobody's gonna care if we made a new character. So that's why it's important for us to swap a character that's already established. And it's like, it's just so like, I'm at the point where it's like just the reasoning behind it actually makes me more mad than when they actually do it. You know what I mean? Like with the race swaps and stuff. It's like I hear stuff like that and it's like it's so condescending on so many levels.
Just a tad. Well, I remember I'm trying to find it. I think she might have deleted it because I retweeted it because I saw Geeky Sparkles tweeted it. And so I shared it, but I'm trying to find it and I can't. So I'm like, did you delete it?
Oh, I see. I think let me see. I think she deleted the one with the link, but the one
she deleted the one with the pictures because now I can't find them, which I usually do.
Well, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I've got it on one of my. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, because a lot of people got involved with the Twitter thread and it kind of got messy.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. But I did find the tweet where you redid Tila, or you sent it to me, so let me pull it up. So this was one of the promotional images that they released for Tila. Stunning and brave. Hashtag believe all women. Hashtag forces female. And then we have Steven's rendition of it. So this looks a lot more like the Tila that we all knew and grew up with. If I do say so.
Yeah, I tried.
I like this. Yeah, they only see legitimacy on white characters.
Exactly.
Well, I'm actually surprised that they didn't make Tila black because they have that thing where they have to get rid of all the gingers. And so I was like, oh, that's different. But I guarantee you, because in this image, she's standing next to like Evelyn. I'm like, they're going to be lesbians. Watch.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have that look to them. So.
Well, I mean.
It's, I mean. Yeah. I mean, as far as the, I mean, this is just like such a stereotypical kind of thing now. The shaved head and everything is just like, come on. It's like, at least do something different.
I know now because they're saying it's supposed to be cool and edgy, but then it's like, how is it cool and edgy when every single character has the same damn haircut? It's like, can't you guys be a little bit more creative? That was actually, I did a video and all the people that don't watch my content, they just scream and cry because I'm like, well, you didn't watch it. But I did a video about how when they released the new Star Wars character designs, I'm like, it's a basic bitch ponytail for the green chick, Venestra or something. Yeah. And I'm like, go look at just how much thought they went into designing Padme's hair. I mean, that's not a normal hairstyle. Like, she never just has her hair down and basic, except for one scene where she has that brown outfit and it's got the hood. But even then, they tried to dress it up with the hood.
Right.
And I'm like, every single time it's like a work of art, and they specifically go out of their way to make it look, not normal. I'm trying to find a more eloquent way of saying that. But I'm just blanking. But yeah, even Princess Leia, when there's an interview where Carrie Fisher, when I think she might be in her like 40s in the video, but she goes to George Lucas's house and they're like, she's interviewing him, and it's the most laid back you'll ever see George. And she's like, I told you, she's like, you put me in that stupid hair. She's like, I already have chubby cheeks, and then you put me in the stupid buns. And she's like, you don't do that to a girl that looks like me. And he's like, but it was meant. He's like, I did that hairstyle so that way it would stick out. He's like, I did that on purpose. It was supposed to be noticed.
Right.
It's like, wow, when people are actually creative. Whereas this, it's like, I need to speak to your manager.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just cut and paste. It's just like, there's no creativity put into it. It's just, okay, what's trendy? Let's just do that and just do it over and over and over again. I'm like, it's like, I don't mind them changing the characters around a little. I mean, they can redesign the outfits and everything, but it's like, at least do something interesting. It's like, don't make it worse. I
know.
At least try and make it better.
Well, and one of the things that I don't understand that they seem to not understand either is it's like, I don't know any women that see this and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm empowered, you know? It's, when you look at Tila, the original design, it's like, yes, that's not really functional, but neither is He-Man's outfit. Like, there's nothing about being bare-chested and going into battle that makes any sense at all. It's the aesthetic of it. It's like you're in a fantasy world where a dude gets a sword and transforms into He-Man. I'm not exactly looking for reality here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
High fantasy.
No, yeah, they try to make it. You know, somebody made this point the other day. It's like these people live in a fantasy, you know, and I was like, yeah, exactly. They live in the fantasy, but they want to bring reality into it to make them more comfortable with the fantasy. So it's like they want the characters to look like them and act like them and have their, you know, it's like because they don't want to, you know, see a hero that they can aspire to be or anything like that, or just, you know, just have fun in some escapist fantasies. Like, no, they want everything to be real. They want it to reflect their own life. And it's like,
so well, that's not what fantasy is.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, so you end up with these like boring characters that are just like, it's supposed to be outrageous, you know. That's what it's He-Man, and like you said, it's the same point. It's like they didn't change He-Man, you know. He's still bare-chested and his legs out. But even with Tila, even with her original outfit, you could see they changed it and they covered her up more with her.
Yeah, they gave her like the skirt thing, which I'm just like, to be honest, have you ever tried fighting in a fucking skirt? Heck, I have hard enough time just walking in a skirt. That's why I don't wear skirts. Skirts are not functional in any way, shape, or form. They're incredibly inconvenient unless it's really hot outside during summer and you know you're gonna sweat. But even then, it's like, as a girl, unless your skirt is all the way to the floor, a majority of the time women wear shorts underneath their skirts just in case. So it's like you're putting something over something that already is functional. There's nothing convenient about it, especially not trying to fight in it. And even when you have skirts, it's like, well, look at Wonder Woman's. Look at how high up it is, so that way her legs aren't getting caught on, you know, the skirt, making it so she can't be as mobile. Right. But this is a good point. His skin is harder than any armor he could wear. Exactly. And again, you're in a fantasy world where a sword makes you a superhero and your villain is Skeletor. Right. Like, I'm not looking for realistic proportions. I'm not looking for Karen to ask me where the manager is. I want something fun and exciting and fantasy-like. And it is possible to do a badass looking woman and, you know, give her a short haircut, but still make her appealing and keep her femininity intact. Exhibit A. You know? Exactly. Like a freaking space marine. She's got the short haircut. You can see she's very physically strong. She's about to go into battle, but guess what? There's no doubt in my mind that this is a woman. Right. But do they care about any of this? No. No, yeah, and that's the thing. They don't care. It's like this stuff is all like it's made for, and even in that tweet, you know, that director, he's saying, you know, like, well, we need to change stuff around for the new fans who are coming into this. And it's like, well, that's the problem. You know, you're making stuff for new fans who are just like transient, you know, they just jump from one thing to the other. They don't really care. They're not really invested in the characters or anything. So it's like, you know, it's just like you're changing these stuff around just for a quick buck, you know, to get some views, get some ratings. But then all these people are going to be gone, you know, and then meanwhile, you've alienated all the original fans who've been here for like 40 years, you know, so like, what's the point? Exactly. And now they're even doing it even worse and this came out, like, so this image up here, somebody took it at like a con or something. And I remember Clownfish tweeted it out. And we'll get to the shit show that happened from there. But then in the trailer that they just released yesterday, it shows Prince Adam and like the sword splitting. And I guess Tila is going to get half the sword. So it confirms that this whole show is going to be about Tila. And I mean, you even called it out when you showed the action figure of Skeletor. And Skeletor it's like, you spoiled your damn show with the freaking merch. And I actually was at Target the other day and this was there. Yeah. And I'm like, this is fucking real. And I'm like, Jesus, what the fuck are you guys doing? I saw some super chats come in. I'm sorry, everyone, that I haven't gotten to them yet, but let me get this one. Russell Hall, thank you for the super chat. If the Sword of Power breaks and they reforge it for Tila, should it become the Scissors of Power or remain a phallic symbol supporting the patriarchy? I'm gonna go with the phallic symbol. You know those bitches use the eggplant emoji. Girls are okay with phallic symbols. I tried to make it silly. But, let me go through and read.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you talking? I thought you were talking to the.
I was. I'm making a funny. Let me read some of these super chats before we get into it, because also there's over 700 people watching. Please smash the like button, please, and thank you. And I have some of Steven's links in the description of this video. Some of my wonderful mods can post that if you guys are interested in following Steven and keep an eye on his artwork. He also posts a lot of stuff, which I actually use in my videos, and I always make sure that I link them. But like this image, I didn't even see this until I saw Steven post it. Demi Moore's Tapeworm, thank you for the super chat. Hello from below, just popping my head out to say howdy. I hope everyone had a great 4th. I'm still hungover from last night, but totally worth it. Oh, well, thank you for the super chat. I did not drink, so I'm not hungover, but thank you. And then I see the ones from Angel. The one where it was about Stephen, please fix Tila, I beg of you, and I showed you that, but thank you. And then the next one is also Anime Matsuri in Houston this upcoming weekend. Everyone should come. I'll be there Saturday. It's going to be amazing. Yes, everyone, I am going to Anime Matsuri in Houston. It's my first time going to Texas. I will be there every day. I might leave just because there's a couple things in Houston that I want to see. So I might not be at the convention the entire time, but I will be in Houston from Thursday to Monday. So if you guys are in the Houston area or in Texas, you guys want to go to Anime Matsuri, I will be there. And I think me, Nick, Yellow Flash, and Cecil and Hiro Hay are going to be speaking on a panel there. So if you guys want to come see us, go to Anime Matsuri. John Miller, thank you for the super chat. I would love to see a caricature of Kevin Smith sucking from the teat of the golden cap with tears coming from his eyes. Rule 34. Yeah. I'm sure that there is something like that out there. Google it. But thank you for the super chat. I don't know if you were wanting me or Steven to draw. I definitely have no desire to draw Kevin Smith.
Yeah, me neither.
Chris Prophet, thank you for the super chat. And are you going to watch the upcoming Star Wars anime shorts? Yes, I have a video coming out about that tomorrow. That one was like the only one that I was actually really like kind of excited for, but I'm kind of well, you'll watch the video tomorrow, you'll see. Angel, thank you for another super chat. We live in reality where the 2002 show is canceled, but Shiri and Karenala are friends and get to exist instead. I hate this universe. Yeah, see, this is why I mean I like the internet for its benefits, but I'm starting to think it was a mistake. Because you know what drives me crazy?
What's that?
It's like when you're having a conversation with someone in real life, they can't stop the conversation to Google up an answer. Like if I'm having a conversation about Star Wars in person, it's like you'll find out real fast if somebody is a real fan or not. But when you're having a conversation on the internet, it's like Google is a step away. And so now all of a sudden, all these people that don't know anything about He-Man, that don't know anything about Star Wars or Star Trek or Marvel or DC, it's a Google search away. So now all of a sudden, everyone is an expert on everything.
Right.
And it's like, bitch, you wouldn't know that if you didn't have Google.
Yeah, exactly.
And so with He-Man, it's like, if the internet doesn't exist, you would have to actually go back and watch the show to actually know about He-Man, which wouldn't be a problem for, you know, me, because I watched it when I was a kid, you know. And you know what's funny is I watched She-Ra. I did. I don't remember very much about it. Like, I remember the first episode where she gets introduced, and then I remember like images. But I don't know, for whatever reason, my memory as a child, I remember He-Man a lot more than I remember She-Ra. But I think I watched, like, for every like one episode of She-Ra that I watch, I think I watch at least 10 He-Man or like over and over again.
You're right.
So it's like, I know I watched it, but I'll be honest, I'm like, yeah, I liked it. I don't remember much about it because I was a kid, you know. But I'm sure if I went and watched it, I would like all slowly come back to me, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But so somebody like Kevin Smith, who it's like, well, we've seen your tweets, we've seen the video footage of you saying you were never a fan, but now all of a sudden you're a fan. It's like you're a Google fan. You've got Google and Wikipedia, and that drives me absolutely crazy.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure, you know, I'm sure when they came together, when they first started this project, it was like, you know, they probably did like a little crash course or something, just kind of like brushed up on all the, as much He-Man stuff as he could find, you know, because I know he talks about how this new show is gonna like, it's gonna pay tribute to the cartoon and to like the old comics that were different, a little different from the cartoon, and it's gonna be a little something for everybody. But it's like, you know, I mean, you can just tell he wasn't really into it, you know. Like you said, it's just they Googled a lot of stuff, and it's like even the again, the guy today on Twitter, the Netflix director, he was saying, you know, oh, we got to change the race because there was only one black character in He-Man. It's like, no, there's actually a couple, you know, that wasn't the only one. So it's like, that tells me right there, it's like you're the guy making the show for Netflix and you don't even know all the characters. So it's like there's this it's like this phoniness about it, you know. And it's like, plus Netflix is the one that did all this stuff with like She-Ra already and
yeah,
Ultron. So it's like, you know, and all of their promotional stuff, it all points at Teela. Everywhere you look, if you go on Netflix.com, if you go on any site it's always saying, just like this does right here, it's up to Teela to save the universe, you know.
Yeah. And you know, I did a video where I was first like kind of defending it after I saw the trailer, and I'm like, it could make sense. And I was like, this is me trying to make excuses for them. But it's like, I understand if, like, let's say He-Man had a breaking point and, you know, he goes off because he lost to Skeletor and he feels like he failed the world, and they send Teela to go talk to him. And I was like, well, I'm sure that they wouldn't do this because they'd think it's sexist, but women are known for their compassion. Like, that's one of the traits of being feminine. Not to say that men can't be compassionate too, but it's like, it's kind of in our DNA, because what do we have to do? Biologically, women have to birth and give birth to children and have to take care of infants. Okay, so to do that, you have to have an insane amount of patience. You also have to have a lot of compassion. So biologically, women are more in tune to do something like that. So it would make more sense for Teela to go find and have a pep talk with He-Man, to have like that kind of emotional support there to get him all riled up to come back and save the day. So I was like, if Teela is the one that has to go find him, if they did it that way, where it's like she's coming to, you know, help him regain confidence in himself, it would make much more sense for her to do that than Orko or Man-at-Arms, right? Because
yeah, definitely.
That empathy, that compassion that a woman has, that it would be kind of weird for, you know, a dude to show up. Because, I mean, let's be honest, when it comes to pep talks, it's very different when you're having one from a dude than it is from a chick.
Right.
And so that was me trying to make excuses for it, where it was like, okay, it can work because then it's her going on this journey to find him, but then he's going to be the one that comes in and saves the day. And then we find out more and it's like, nope, bait and switch.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like he came out with a video a couple weeks ago when he was like, well, the revelation in the title refers to Teela. And I'm like, wait, how? So the actual name of the show is literally about Teela. So how are you saying this is going to be like a He-Man show and it's not about Teela, you know? And then this new trailer that just came out, it's like the whole opening, it's Teela, you know? Oh, Teela was betrayed. She leaves. So it's like, oh, it's up to her to save Magic and Eternia and the whole universe. And it's like, you know, and he did the reaction video to that, right? He skipped that part. He skipped over completely the beginning. Did you see that? I was like,
I did. Well, to be fair, I'm sure he went through the whole thing, but I don't think he edited it. I think the people that, because that was from Geeked. Let me go pull it up. I think they edited that out on purpose. Or maybe he did like not say anything. But there's so many jump cuts in that. So that's why I hate jump cuts. Like, unless you really fuck up your video, like that's why I don't do any in mine. And if
Mhm.
I do, I have to like cover it up with a picture because maybe I sneezed or I said something wrong, but I try not to, just so it's like, you know, this is what I'm saying. But him,
Right.
it's like every other second it's a cut in the video. And to me personally, I'm just like, this is so fake. Like you're cutting out
Exactly.
everything. So how am I supposed to believe that you can that you actually know what you're talking about? And one of the things I'm like, I can sit here and talk about He-Man uncut.
Mhm.
That's what she said, but unedited for like what 10 hours. I can go on for 10 hours, and I always tell people that. I'm like, whenever they ask me for advice on like doing a YouTube channel, like don't talk about something that you can't talk about nonstop for 10 hours. That's my
Right.
go-to,
Mhm.
because if you can't, then you probably don't know enough about it, unless you're like trying to learn along with your audience. Okay,
Yeah.
I found the
Yeah.
tweet. But with him, so yeah, so Netflix releases this, and I'm going to post this in the chat if you guys want to follow along and see for yourself. But so without me getting in trouble, I'll just have this kind of up while we're talking, but you can see what's going on. It's like, oh, Eternia, shit happened. And
Mhm.
just watch how it becomes the Tila show, not the Prince Adam or He-Man. Also, they gave him intense eyelashes. I don't know if you
Yeah.
noticed that. But I'm like, why is Adam like overly feminine?
Yeah. Exactly.
But
It's like they
then
made she's masculine, he's feminine. It's like,
exactly, I was like, what is going on here? But not only that, it's like, so something happens in this trailer because you can see where she's getting knighted or something, and then she takes off her little crown and like her hair comes out. She's pissed because Prince Adam, aka He-Man, he got told, or he had that feeling that Skeletor is attacking, so it ruins her ceremony where she's being made a man at arms, right? And so
Mhm.
she's pissed at him, and then she's going off on her own. Then the next thing we see, she's got her hair cut off to be Karen, Karen 2021,
Right.
and then she's gonna get the sword, but it's implying that she's pissed off at Adam for taking away her thunder. Oh,
Yeah. I think because he said before, and I think if you kind of like look at all it's like if you put everything he said about the show together, all different comments and stuff, different videos, and you look at the screenshots from like he was saying, like Tila is supposed to find out in like the middle of a battle or something. That
yes.
she's been lied to. So I get the feeling that there's probably going to be a fight. He's going to lose and kind of like transform back into Adam in front of her, and that's how she's going to find out, and she'll like feel all betrayed and stuff and take off. And it's like I get the feeling it'll be more about finding Tila to save the universe instead of Tila finding He-Man. You know what I mean? It's like one way or another, I think they're going to make it to where like it's really about her.
Yeah, it's going to be a bait and switch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like how Luke Skywalker was supposed to be a big part of The Force Awakens, you know, with his 10-second cameo at the end.
That,
Yeah.
See, but I made so many excuses for that too. And like, I don't even want to get into Star Wars. That's going to piss me off even more. But all of this, and you know, one of the things that drove me crazy when I did my trailer reaction,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Mark Hamill's voice for Skeletor. I'm
Yeah,
like,
me neither.
this is Skeletor. This isn't the Joker.
Right.
But I'm hearing the Joker, which I think Mark Hamill is talented enough to do more than one voice. But you shut your eyes. That's not Skeletor. That's Joker. One of the things that made Skeletor so iconic is that, you know, he's fucking Skeletor. You see this cool character design, and then you hear the most ridiculous voice you can imagine.
Right.
And it's like, what? Or he's like, He-Man, I'm going to get you in Castle Grayskull. And it's like, oh, God, you're never going to forget that.
Yeah, it's too iconic. You can't change that. And it's like, you know, it kind of makes me mad because they actually have that actor in the show, but he's doing the voice of a different character. I'm like, why would you do that? What, just so you can say we got Mark Hamill to do Skeletor? It's like, have the original voice. I don't know why. It's like, and yeah, it's like as soon as you hear it, it's just like all I hear is the Joker. I can't.
Why don't they have the YouTube link? This drives me crazy. I'm like, I don't want to watch it on here. I want to watch it on YouTube because I want to see what the consensus is. Let me pull this up.
Well, they probably turn the comments off or something.
Well, so I left they probably will. Last time I saw it, there was a huge not good ratio for them. But that was early. That was when they first posted it.
Oh.
But I left a comment saying you guys owe Clownfish TV a huge apology, because so what happened was Clownfish TV, they cover a lot of the animation stuff and really like those guys. Go over there and sub if you have not. But so they were covering all the She-Ra stuff. So I didn't even know about the stuff with She-Ra. And then I posted something and it was World War III on my Twitter. I still get people commenting on that She-Ra post. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? This is almost a year old. But so that's how I actually got introduced to Geeky Sparkles, who is, you know, it's a husband and wife that run Clownfish TV.
Right.
She is obviously the wife. And so I had her on and we talked about it. And she's like, yeah, these kids are absolutely insane. And she's like, don't talk about this because then they'll lose their mind even more. But so they dropped info about the show and how it is going to be the Teela show and, you know, the Whammon show instead of the He-Man show. And Kevin Smith responded to them, and I left a comment because I'm like, you owe them a huge apology, dude.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that, and he did one of his own videos where he kind of commented on that. He's like, all these people, you know, on his what is it, Fat Man and the Batman show?
Yeah, dude, I tried watching that show because it came up on my recommended. It was one of the most boring live streams I've ever seen.
Yeah, I didn't watch. I mean, somebody had put the timestamp in the comments, so I was able to like just go to where he talked about it. Yeah, I didn't watch the whole show or anything, but yeah, he was like, you know, everybody's saying I owe Clownfish TV, and I don't know who that is, and you know, it's some website or something. And he's like, look, I can't apologize for something I never said, and all this. You know, he's like, well, just wait till the story trailer comes out. It'll make everything perfectly clear. You know, all the rumors you're hearing aren't true. And I'm like, yeah. Then the story trailer comes out and it's like, it's Teela. It's Teela as a star. It's like you said. It's like, come on.
Yeah, it's like, dude, really? And I get it. You probably don't remember everyone you respond to. Because, I mean, somebody could probably say that about me. Where it's like, oh, well, you said this to this person. I'm like, who? And then they'd have to show me and be like, oh, okay, I didn't even, you know, life and I'm a human kind of thing. But if he's just straight up faking that, I mean, he's got to know who they are by now because so many people have brought this up. So this is what Clownfish initially said, and I believe that they deleted their tweet. But it says, and if you guys just Google Clownfish TV and Kevin Smith, these tweets will show up. But so it says, my understanding of Kevin Smith's He-Man series from an alleged insider, Teela is a better He-Man than Adam, and he steps aside to let her and her girlfriend take over hero duties. If it's true, this won't play well. And so this was one of, because this is when there was a convention going on and the screenshots leaked. But I believe Clownfish TV talked about it before the screenshot or the photos because they're not.
Yeah, I think they had a different source who told them about that, about the thing where, you know, her having a girlfriend and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like two, but they both were kind of lined up.
Well, so then Kevin Smith responded a couple times to them because they defended themselves. And so he says, as showrunner, I really could have used the story suggestions before we locked the scripts. However, no, He-Man does no stepping aside, and Teela has no girlfriend in our show. The storyline is pretty dark and way metal. Before Revelation, we were calling it End of the Universe. And but which of course does not line up with what he's saying now. But then this is another one where Clownfish was defending themselves, and they had the article with Screen Rant, and I think that was after this came out. And he says, with all due respect to Screen Rant, I've read every Masters of the Universe official script for our shows, plus wrote a few and viewed 4 amazing animatics. While Teela is as present as she's always been in the Masters of the Universe adventures, and she plays a big role, our series is literally all about He-Man. So remember that for when the show comes out. And I don't usually do this, but I like He-Man. Not to say that I don't like the other things I cover, but my thing is I'm kind of tired of being lied to by Hollywood people, and I've kind of about had enough of it, if you couldn't tell by my ranting for the past few years. But when it comes to this shit, if he's going to straight up respond to people and lie, I mean, I'm going to watch the show and see what happens. And I'm going to post these screenshots along with my response tweet to him. If he's lying, if both of these are lies, he owes Clownfish a huge apology, as well as the rest of the He-Man fandom, because he's lying and he's pretending to be a fan.
Yeah,
but so this is the new geeked thing where he's going through and he's talking about everything and going over. He's like, oh yeah, that person voiced this. That person voiced this. It's like, dude, we all have IMDb. We can see who voiced who. That's not nobody cares. Right. I'm sorry to the voice actors. Nobody fucking cares. We want to know what the show's about. That's what's interesting to us. But you can already see, like, I obviously disliked it, but there was only a few hundred likes and like a few hundred more dislikes when I disliked it earlier. But so, yeah, this was my comment. You know, Clownfish TV was right. Let's see. I didn't even look at the replies. Let's see. Mean people.
Oh, yeah. Always. You know.
Yeah. Well, I'll read that later. But so, yeah, it literally is just going to be a bait and switch. And you can just tell this is one of those things that I actually wanted to point out when you're talking to a person that's not actually a fan. The person that's not a fan is going to be the person that's like, oh, yeah, we have this person playing this character and this person playing this character. So you know the characters' names. But instead of talking about the actual story, which you would think, considering this guy says that he wrote a few episodes, he would actually know. And you could go through, I could sit here and explain to you a plot of a Star Wars movie without giving any spoilers or plot leaks. Right. You know, if you're enough of a fan, you can do that and talk about, like, he could go and talk about Cringer, right? Or Orko and say, oh yeah, this is why we decided to do this with this, you know, his original character design was like this, and this caused us problems with the new form animation. And then just getting into a little bit more of the personality of the character. But no, he's like, this person does this and it's awesome. It's like, so what are you telling me about the story? Nothing? Okay, cool.
Exactly. Yeah. He comes across like, like, you know, like a pitch man, you know?
Yes.
Like he's trying to sell you something and he's telling you, oh, you know, it does this, it does that, but it's like you're not really into it. Like you said, it's like he's not talking about the characters, he's not talking about the stories, he's not talking about, oh, I remember this and that. It's just like he's just like reading off bullet points, and like even with that tweet, it's like you see how he kind of words he words what he's saying carefully, to where you can tell he can back out later and go, well, I said it was all about He-Man. I didn't say He-Man was a star, you know.
Well, he could say, I said it was all about He-Man. Teela is He-Man now.
Right.
See?
Yeah.
I feel like after you deal with people long enough, you can catch on to that. It's actually a lot like dealing with children. Yeah. Especially like very snarky children. And I mean, I know because I used to do this when I was a kid, where it's like, oh yeah, you said I had to go to bed at 8. You didn't say I had to go to sleep at 8. And like sitting, you know, in my bed playing with toys. I was that asshole child that did that because I knew, you know, there's loopholes and everything. But guess what? That's how I can catch that pattern, because I was once a child and I know how to find loopholes and things. That's exactly what they're doing.
Exactly. It's like you said. I mean, we've seen it so many times before now. It's like, come on. It's like you're not fooling anybody, right? It's like, and you know, I know you don't. You don't want to talk about Star Wars, but it's like it was the same thing in all three movies. They did the same thing, the first one, then the second one, and then the last one. Like, no, this time we mean it. Luke really is a big part of the story. And it's like, you know, and it's just the same trick over and over again. And it's like they just can't make something for like fans. They can't just do, you know, it's like they got to change everything around, and then they got to give you this whole pitch where they're trying to sell it to you. And like you said, it's just a big bait and switch. And if nothing else, I'm just tired of that. Just tired of lying and the faking and all this stuff.
Yep. Angel, thank you for the super chat. And I know, guys, I am reading these out of order. I'm just trying to catch them as I see them. Why couldn't it be that He-Man went missing and Teela bands a group together to save him? Then we get another season where He-Man helps the group defeat Skeletor for good. See, that's what I was kind of thinking when I first saw this. And then I'm like, that's what me, you, other logical people that are fans that know a little bit about this universe, that's what we naturally think. Like when I saw The Force Awakens, all I was doing was making excuses. Well, why does this chick that never flew a spaceship before in her life, why does she know how to fly the Millennium Falcon? Why does she know how to fight with a lightsaber even though she's only used a staff? Also, how did she learn how to fight to defend herself and she never has like a scratch on her? Also, how does she have the how why? All these questions that naturally people would think of. I started making excuses because I'm like, well, I know a little bit about Star Wars, right? I think I can say that. My name is on the channel is about Star Wars. So I'm like, I am confident enough in my Star Wars knowledge to call myself that. But so my thing that I was thinking of, I'm like, well, they're going to introduce holocrons into the movie because the merchandise started showing up at the theme parks. And like on like t-shirts and stuff because it was in Rebels. And so I was like, okay, they're gonna, maybe she had a holocron, and also the way that Obi-Wan, talked to Luke as a Force ghost, maybe somehow Luke figured it out, and so Luke is teaching her from a distance, and that's why Luke isn't there, and we'll get a bunch of flashback scenes, or we'll get answers in The Last Jedi, and it's gonna be the bestest movie ever, right? And I'm like, that would be my only explanation as to why she was left on the planet alone. And how she knew how to do all these things was that somebody was teaching her from afar. And it could be that thing where the reason why Luke and Leia were separated was to hide them. Okay. Kylo Ren, obviously, it's implied that he knew who she was because when they said a girl, his whole demeanor changes and he hones in on that. So my thing was, he must know and who she is. She must be his sister or his cousin. And they all did that to hide her. Right? That's why Luke or Han and Leia had to pretend like they broke up, that there was something wrong. That's why Luke went and hid, was so that way Kylo couldn't find her. And so she's got a holocron and Luke is teaching her from across the galaxy. Also, you're telling me that Han Solo would have let his ship just randomly sit on Jakku? Bullshit. Han Solo would have hunted down that ship and found it, right? He'd have everyone looking for that damn ship. So I kept coming up with excuses as to why things were there. And I'm like, well, it would make sense if he left it there for his daughter. If Rey was his daughter and he left that there so that way his child could have a way off the planet when she was ready, right? If she knows how to use a lightsaber and how to fly the ship because Han Solo was her father and Luke Skywalker was her uncle, and he's been teaching her through holocrons or computer chips or some kind of database, right? That would make much more sense than she's just a clone of Darth Sidious, which that hurts my soul to say. Oh god, that's just so phenomenally stupid. But that was when I saw The Force Awakens, that was what my theory was. And I'm like, it's going to be answered in The Last Jedi, and it's going to be the bestest thing ever. And then we got what we got. But I see here that you sent this to me, so thank you. So this, I'll post this in the chat if you guys want to follow along if it's too small on the screen. So this girl, Kaylee posted this on Twitter earlier. And so this is from a Facebook group, which I'm not in this Facebook group, but it's funny. I'm in like a bunch of Star Wars ones, but they don't know who I am.
Right.
Well, so it was funny because one day I'm in like this Ahsoka one and they posted Yellow Flashes video talking about it. And I'm just like, wow, this is like a huge SJW group, but they all love Yellow Flashes video. So this says big spoiler for new week's Masters of the Universe. And so it's kind of about how there's like the black character in there. And so this is what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And so this is from Tim and it says, I prefer making new unique black characters than race swapping original white characters. Instead of wearing your old shirt, you're getting a hand-me-down, or your own shirt, you're getting a hand-me-down shirt from someone else, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Exactly.
And then this is the director. So he says, Tim, I hear you. And that will indeed be part of our story too. But a big hurdle when you're introducing a new character to a line of so many well-established characters is that they are bound to be outsiders and harder to accept as canon, at least for a while. Nobody gives a shit about Sir Laser-Lot. we asked ourselves early on about, well, okay, I just want to throw this out, Cobra Kai, right? A bunch of new characters. I think everyone that watches Cobra Kai knows what I'm talking about. Whenever somebody gives this excuse, tell them to watch Cobra Kai. Heck, tell them to watch Aliens. You know, there's Alien, right, and then go watch Aliens. The only character that's the same in that movie, well, it's Ripley, but then there's also the cat too, which, you know, he's not in the whole thing. Right. But it's like, how come everyone throughout history of storytelling is able to introduce brand new characters and make them likable, except for modern day Hollywood?
Exactly.
You know, there's new characters in every James Bond film, aside from James Bond and M and, you know, maybe Q.
Yeah, this is like, he's just, this is what I'm saying, is like, when I hear like reasons like this, it's like, it makes me more mad than the fact that you just changed the skin color of the character. It's just like, because this is so, it's like insulting and condescending, and, you know, you're basically admitting that you don't have the talent to make a new character, you know, and you're, you know, it's like, they'll take a character and change them so much to where it's like, it basically is a new character. So it's like, you don't even make sense. You know what I mean? It's like you're contradicting yourself.
Yep. And I see Ethan in the chat. What's up, Ethan? Congrats on the toys. Sir Laserlot was created by Jeff Johns. That was a diss against Jeff. Unbelievable. I didn't know that.
Is that real? I can't tell if it's real or he's joking.
I'm assuming it's real. Let me go look.
Is there a Sir Laserlot?
Let's see. I thought it was a play on Lancelot. Oh my God.
Is it real?
Well, I'm trying. Yeah, it's real. I recognize the action figure. I just don't know. Was it created by Jeff Johns? Ethan, do you want a link? I can send you the link if you want. Let's see. Laserlot, Jeff Johns. Let me see. Everyone's just saying frog. Oh, it is. Laserlot was created by ZC Comics CCO Jeff Johns when he was 8 years old. Years later, Mattel would base an action figure off the drawings John did as a kid, and he'd make his comic debut in the first issue of the digital first title, Masters of the Universe. So when it comes to He-Man comics, I know nothing. I was a kid when I watched the show.
Yeah, I just watched the cartoon and bought the toys when I was a kid. Wow, I didn't know that was a real character. I thought he was.
I had my brother's hand-me-down toys, so they were like absolute shit. But
all broken up.
Yeah, and look here. Let me grab the image. So this is the character. That's cool that he made a character when he was 8. Let's see. I thought EVS was joking. No, he's not. No, he's not. I've seen this before, but well, I guess you'd have to be a fan of the comic books to know that. But I mean, my mom thought I was weird and she wouldn't let me read or play like video games, or can't read video games, but she wouldn't let me. The only comics that I got a hold of were if they were from my brother, or if, well, she had an antique store. So I snuck in and I read some of the comics that were in one of the booths. But then I got action figures that came with 2-packs, or the comic book 2-pack that came with Star Wars action figures. And so I read those. The ones that I was able to get my hand on. Anna's mom is scary. You have no idea. So yeah.
Yeah, I had a bunch of Masters of the Universe toys when I was a kid, but I don't remember. I think the comics, I might have just like looked at the pictures and never read the stories or anything, so I don't remember too much from them.
Well, Kevin Smith did say that he was basing some of it on the comics, so there might be stuff in there that, you know, we'll be pleasantly surprised by. Hopefully, if it's good. But I didn't know that that was a direct jab at Jeff Johns. So that makes this even more of a petty, and pathetic excuse. So let me finish reading this. We asked ourselves early on about the need for 2 giant white blonde dudes. Oh, so he's racist. Isn't this dude white too?
Yeah.
This is a white dude.
He's white and he's saying this to a black fan. Which just makes no sense. It's like the black fan is saying, "Hey, I don't like this race swap because it feels cheap," and you know, And he's like, no, 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 trust us. We know what's best. It's like, it's so insulting, you know?
Mm-hmm. All right. Ethan, I'm sending it to you now. Okay. Have you met Ethan yet, Stephen?
Just on Twitter. I don't think I've ever talked to him.
All right. Well, if he comes on, you'll be able to meet him. All right, guys. Link is sent, Ethan. Pop in whenever you feel ready. So let's see. When asked ourselves early on about the need for 2 giant white blonde dudes in the Pantheon. Here we go. Hello, Ethan.
Hi, Anna. Hold on. Let me just fix this real quick.
No problem.
Okay, get rid of that echo. I'm still echoing. Why? Is it me? Is this my fault? Mute me. And well, that's not going to help to mute me and find out if I'm echoing still.
Well, can you hear me fine? Or is that just you're hearing
you sound great. No, I sound okay now. Okay. All right.
What's up, Ethan?
Hi, Stephen. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Oh, you too. Thank you.
Yeah, I just noticed that, there is some kind of grudge against Jeff Johns by these soy boys in Hollywood. I didn't know. I'm racking my brain to try to recall any of politics about between Kevin Smith and Jeff Johns. Like, how did those two fellows get along when they were both working at DC together? I don't recall static there, but there also wasn't really a relationship. But this Jeff had a lot of opportunities, and one of the things that he got to do, Anna, they contacted him and said, "Hey, do you want to? We heard you made this character when you were 8 years old and a fan of He-Man. We'd like to actually realize him into an actual action figure." And so that's what they did. Sir Laser-Lot. Basically it was just kind of like, I don't even know if he was ever animated. I guess he wasn't animated or anything like that. He might be in this new show.
No, he was in the 2004 show, because I Googled him and looked up pictures. Let me see if I can get it.
Oh man, I don't even remember.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the show that came out in the 2000s, because his image is here along with the pictures. So let me pull this up. So right here. So there's the action figures, but this is from that newer show. This isn't the Kevin Smith show. So
Right.
he must have been there, unless somebody. I didn't watch that show. I only watched the original show. But I mean, there he is, right there.
Is he black? Is Sir Laser-Lot black? Like, there he is without his helmet on.
Oh, maybe. Oh, he is, huh? Maybe that's what the
Racist Jeff Johns. Yeah, he's a real racist, according to Ray Fisher. Naturally creating, characters that are diverse, without making a big deal about it. Anyway, so there's a race to like disrespect Jeff Johns. That kills me that he said nobody gives a shit about Sir Laser-Lot. That's the character. You don't want to say Stinkor or any, like, you know what I mean? Buzz off. You don't want to say any of those weird, obscure. You want to choose the one that, like, one of your colleagues created, like, as a kind of happy thing. Hey, you were a fan when you were a kid. What a bunch of assholes, Anna.
Well, I mean, he's also saying nobody gives a shit about this black character.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's the whole point. What he's saying.
Yeah, it was a unique character that was now I know was made by Jeff Johns. He's like, nobody cared about that character. It's like, well, why don't you make us care about him if you feel like nobody cares about him? And I'm sure that there's a diehard fan out there that would know that. But I'm like, isn't this a racist statement in and of itself? According to their own definition of what racism is, you're saying that nobody cares about a black character.
Why do people should go jam that right up his ass? Like, Sir Laser-Lot is an African. Well, he's not an American, is he? But anyway, he's black. He's a man of color. He's a MOC, man of color. And how dare you say that nobody cares about him? Like, his life matters. Sir Laser-Lot's life matters. And that should be something that people say to that dude. Nobody gives a shit about Sir Laser-Lot. Sir, he's a person of color. What do you mean you don't give a shit about him? Yeah. Black lives matter.
Well, there you go, right there. But it continues, because then he's going and making a point about a black man. Because did you are you up to date on what we've been talking about, Ethan? How they made He-Man's grandfather black?
Oh, the guy who what's his name? King Grayskull.
Yeah.
He's black. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so in the new trailer that came out, you get it. It does a thing where Prince Adam gets to see all of like the past He-Man, and the one that's standing behind him is his grandfather, but they made him black, and so it's like, oh, so Prince Adam, you know, Master Grayskull, he's black.
He had that same disease that Michael Jackson had. Like he slowly became white over time, and it's nothing to make fun of. It's nothing to laugh about. It's called vitiligo. It also made him touch kids, but we don't talk about that. Allegedly.
Exactly. Well, so this whole thing, and I'll send you a link to it right now if you want to look at the tweet thread. But so it was a black guy pointing out that he doesn't like that they're switching out white characters for black characters because it's like getting a hand-me-down instead of getting something original. And so that this is the director of He-Man responding with the jab at Jeff Johns, with the jab at the original black character, and then saying that characters are only remembered or liked if they're white, but they don't want white characters.
How can you fuck up that many times in a single Facebook post?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why we're kind of reading it. I think that there's a few more. Let's see. So let me just finish this last paragraph and we'll move on to the next image. So we ask ourselves early on about the need for 2 giant white blonde dudes in a pantheon of Masters of the Universe. And honestly, it makes both characters less special in their iconography. If I butcher that word anymore. So they're not special because they're not white. I wish I could take credit for being the one with the idea to make Grayskull black, because now in the history of all the champions of Grayskull, a black man has a role of prominence, as opposed to just being a guy with a clamp who's king of Randor's bodyguard.
Why? Just because he said so? Just because he made it that way? I mean, that, you know, it's like now in the history of all, there is no history. You just establish that right now. Like nobody knows that. Nobody cares. I mean, they're like, now look what we've done to canon. We've made all of these people homosexual. We've made all of these people black. And now look what we've done for the history of gay people in pop culture. No, you just said that. You just made that something. You know, that nobody earned that. That didn't become anything. That didn't start from the roots. That was just you, a little soy boy who's got a job and who's fucking with, you know, fucking with He-Man. Anyway, sorry, Anna.
Oh, yep. Let's see. Let me get this over here. Same with Andra. She was initially created as a new character. It was my idea to dig into the lore and raise up a character who had a small appearance but a strong following. Really where? Find this for me, dude. People have been waiting to see Teela and Andra fight side by side for a while, as opposed to creating a new character that could easily be rejected. Honestly, do we really need 2 badass redheads?
Whoa. What is it with that?
I don't know. They hate gingers. They hate men and they hate gingers.
God.
Let's see. Master of the Universe had no women of color, and we saw an opportunity and took it. Why not give little black girls a hero that looks like them?
Because black girls do not like He-Man. That's why. They just don't. They don't care. There are no little black girls that like He-Man. None. Zero in Spanish. Cerro. I can't roll my cerro. How do you roll? Can you do that, Anna? Can you roll your R?
I cannot. I have a terrible American accent. Steven, can you roll your R's?
A little bit. What's cerro?
There you go. That sounded good.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the original design of her. So, oh my gosh, she was I mean, I think this is a cute character. So this is what she used to look like. And then this is her now.
Yeah. I think she was just in the comics. She was never in the animated series.
Yeah, so they take, well, she looks like an elf because she's got little elf ears. So they take this design, and because she's not a ginger, she's a strawberry blonde. That's different. She still has a soul, unlike Teela. And then they just make her, okay, well, I guess whoever makes that list of all the characters that are gingers that they turn to black characters, this is another one for your list. All right, so no white men, or no, I guess you can't have 2 white men in the same room. So they changed He-Man's grandfather, and now they changed her because you can't have two white women, even though you got, Evelyn right there.
Right.
Great, lovely.
Yeah,
Wow.
His excuse, it just doesn't make any sense to me, because it's like, on the one hand, he's saying, well, we don't want to make a new character because nobody will care about that character. But he's also saying, so we got to race swap a character people like. But it's like, well, if people like that character, they like the original. It's like, so why are you changing it? It's like, it's just like an excuse so they can say, oh, look what we did. We changed,
Well, nobody likes that character. Nobody likes the original.
I never even heard. I was into this when I was a kid. I never heard of that character.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about?
So it's easy. It's like, oh, let's pretend that this character has a great big underground fan base. This is an obscure background character. And then let's say, oh, we made them black. Right. We're giving something back to He-Man's countless young black female audience, because that's what they like. And then, hooray, applause.
Yay. So Tommy Thinker, the super chat, she was created on a box from the 80s POG series. Oh my, well, thank you. I did not know that. Yeah, see, even with this, I feel like they don't watch the show, so they get a very brief overview of what actually happens. And because if you actually watch He-Man, every single episode, they teach you a lesson, and it's one of the characters explaining you the lesson and how the characters learn that throughout the episode. So it's really cutesy and wholesome. And I feel like what they do is they just take a list of all of the characters, and then they see what they can do with them how is this character going to tell message A? How is character B going to tell message C? And so they just use them as tokens to get their own agenda across.
Exactly. Yeah. All this stuff is just a modern tokenism. It's like, oh, look what we did. That's all. They just want credit for saying, oh, look, we made the first He-Man black. So, like Ethan says, like, oh, pat us on the back.
Well, and it's always a white guy doing it too.
Exactly,
it's like, wouldn't that be nice if, like, if this were really an initiative that you wanted to take? Wouldn't it be great if some of you cracker ass white boys and white young ladies would step the fuck aside and actually hire black people and put them into positions of power so that they can decide how they want to be represented, instead of white people making those choices for them and patting themselves on the back? Oh, we're doing representation. Well, you know what? It's like, how come almost every black character that you add to these things is gay or non-binary? What is going on with that? Why don't we have tough, cool black male heroes? We don't really have that, and the ones that we do have, you're making them even slipperier and weirder and more effeminate. Look at Luke Cage. He spends his time like kowtowing to his wife now and watching his kids, which is great. But why don't we actually ask black people what they want, instead of allowing white people to make themselves feel good by telling them what they get? That would be good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, black people do say what they want, and then if it's not what the people have already decided is the right way that they want or want them to think, then they get completely discredited. And so, who was the guy? You'll know, Ethan. He didn't want to be known for just drawing black characters or writing black characters in comics.
Christopher Priest.
There we go.
In fact, this is the thing, that when you actually let black creators create what they want to do, surprise, surprise, they give you the milestone line. DC did that, took that initiative in the early 90s, had all these black creators get together and say, yeah, create your own heroes. Like, what do you want? By the way, none of them had black as a prefix for their hero name. Amazingly, it wasn't Black Tornado and, Black Shark. It was like Icon and Static Shock and things like that. Very cool characters, very cool names. Why don't you let them decide what? And by the way, none of them were effeminate little weirdos. They were all big, tough, burly men and sexy women. Why don't you let those people, these SJWs who are in power right now making these choices, the reason why they're doing it is because they know that they're on the verge of losing their power. They're on the verge of losing their positions where they get to decide, that this representation is going to happen. And they think they're doling out gifts to marginalize people. Step aside. If that's how you feel, step aside. It's not how I feel, by the way. I want more redheads.
Are you going to make Rainbow Brood a redhead, or are you keeping him blonde?
He's right. He's like strawberry blonde. He's right in between redhead and blonde. But he's most certainly Caucasian, and that's okay. It's fine.
Well, one of the things that I saw that somebody pointed out, it's like this guy is a white dude talking about, dissing a black character and then getting rid of a ginger. But he's patronizing this guy who is a black guy saying, I don't like you race swapping them. So it's like, even right here, even when you have that perfect example of a black person telling you what they want and how they feel, they're like, oh no, but you're wrong. And here, let me give you this condescending response to you. It's like,
And nobody gives a shit about a real black character, Laser-Lot. Nobody cares. According to this guy, we actually do have a black character created by Geoff Johns. Fuck Geoff Johns, because he's a racist, remember? And nobody cares about his black character. Cool.
Yep. Guys, I know I've missed a lot of super chats. I'm trying to keep up with the flow of the conversation, so I apologize. I can read them in a moment, but I think this was everything that I had seen from this tweet that Kaylee posted, and then I saw, some people were getting upset by it, and then Geeky Sparkles from Clownfish TV, retweeted it, and so it just caused a lot of drama going on in the Twitters, but I mean, rightfully so, because they keep doing this. Kevin Smith keeps lying to us, right? He dissed Clownfish TV and basically said that they were lying. And then everything that we get from that's coming out about this, it just shows that they weren't, and that everything they were saying was right about this show. And it's just a huge virtue signal. They don't actually care about He-Man. All they care about is trying to tell this narrative. And then Kevin Smith, again, pretending that he's a huge He-Man fan, when it's like, well, there's tweets and video of you saying that you never liked He-Man, or that you were never a He-Man fan. So which is it, dude? Are you just going to lie to us to get your agenda out, and then diss the people that actually are fans, that would actually care, that would actually spend money on things? Or are you just going to continue and beat down on this point you're trying to make? But before I get into Super Chats, I do want to talk about something, since we do have the presence of Ethan Van Sciver here. When you create something that your fans do want and will pay for, congratulations on 200,000 on your action figure, sir.
Whoa, 201 now. We're more than halfway there. Thank you, Anna. Thanks for bringing this up.
Do you want to pitch this to everyone while you're here?
Yeah, I would. I just want to tell people that, one of the problems with what we're seeing with He-Man is that it is corporately controlled, and therefore, they're going to eventually subvert it. They're going to pervert it, and they're going to make it about something other than what it was intended to be. I really do feel like we have an opportunity now with the internet and with crowdfunding to create grassroots, from the ground up, characters and IPs that we can maintain control of, because they belong to us. And Cyberfrog belongs to my family. And because so many people have backed Cyberfrog and are invested in his story, he belongs to you too. That doesn't mean you can make Cyberfrog t-shirts without my permission, by the way. But he does, in a way, belong to you. He belongs to all of us. And it's important that we maintain control of him and not hand him off to big corporations who are going to gender swap him, Cyberfrogina or something like that, race swap him, do all these weird things in the name of social justice and their politics. We just care about telling good stories. Now, one of the things that we have an opportunity to do because of the popularity of Cyberfrog is to actually make our own action figures that are competitive with Todd McFarlane's toys, with Hasbro's toys, are super articulated, beautifully painted, well-sculpted action figures, and it's an enormous risk. We've successfully funded comic books and T-shirts and clothes. We have not yet made toys on this level. So I'm asking you guys to help me. This isn't either we're going to do this, either this is going to succeed and get funded, or it isn't, and then we're not going to be able to do anything after this. We have an enormous goal of $400,000 that we need as a minimum just to make these toys. But we made half of it in one day, in just one day of funding, because I think you guys believe in this too. And I think you like Cyberfrog. I hope so. So the campaign is live now. Look at the toes. We articulated all of the toes individually. We put an ankle rocker in there so his foot goes from forward and backward and side to side. It's on a nice pivot. And we're going to be adding, for my channel members, Anna, we're going to be adding a special variant edition Modern Cyberfrog that only they're going to have the link to. It's going to be a secret. But anyway, yeah, we could use your help. The bigger this campaign gets, each figure is $40. That's an investment. The bigger the campaign gets, the more cool stuff I'm going to add to it in terms of stretch goals. The better the packaging is going to be. And this can be as big as we want it to be. So I'm hoping if you're watching and you believe in this and you believe in if you believe in crowdfunding and you believe in self-determination like this, you guys will give me your support and help us make these Cyberfrog toys and join the nearly 1,000 people who have already donated to this, who have already backed this campaign and are already hoping they're going to get some of these extra. Look, he's severed Vespa's head there. I love that. That's so cool. Anyway, I'm very excited about this. Thanks to everyone who's already supported it, and I hope I can count on some of your support as well.
Yeah, I mean, it looks freaking awesome. I remember when you first started posting pictures of the models of all these action figures, and it must just be the coolest thing ever to like see the things that you've been drawing for like 20 years like come to life. Like this.
It's incredible. I got to, I have the Paint Masters. Actually, I don't have them in my hands anymore. I had to send them off to be professionally photographed for this campaign, but I want them back now. Holding them in my hands was amazing. They look just like my toys. They feel great. I mean, look just like my characters. They feel great. They're superposable. They're tough. I think Heather Swain is the best female action figure I've ever seen. I mean, she really does look great. And they're selling so far. They're selling pretty briskly. If this works, I don't see any limits. I think we can do anything we want from here. I think we could crowdfund our own animated show.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
see, I'm excited for when it does happen. I have confidence that it will, for the Rainbow Brood action figures to go along with these. Because I mean, when you release the concept art that had like all of those like boxes of all of the IPs that All Caps Comics is producing, I immediately saw in my mind all of the action figures for each one that go along with that box. And I mean, I have confidence that you'll be able to do it. I think it's going to be cool to see them all once you get everything made all side by side.
Well, Anna, thank you. We already have the Rainbow the Brute sculpture already made in case we do want to go ahead and make a Rainbow the Brute action figure. He's ready to go. I've got Salamandroid. If this succeeds, we're going to do a wave 2 with Salamandroid, Heather's daughter Lily, and Rumblebee. We'll start making the bad guys. And I can, think of 4 different waves of action figures that we can do if we can make this work. They're $40, which I think is competitive roughly with some of the higher end toys. I went to Walmart today and looked around. I was like, oh, I wish I could offer these like 3 3/4 Cyberfrogs for like $8 like they do at Walmart. Eventually we'll be able to do stuff like that. But I hope that, this audience and your audience in general will consider supporting this so that we can actually push past our funding goal and way into the stretch goals. I want to make those maggots. I want to make everything that's on there. I want to make it all.
Yeah. And then doesn't this like move too?
Yeah. The abdomen moves so he can get into a stinging position. The wings flap. Well, they don't flap. They move. And the head moves. The legs are articulated in 3 different places each. Just beautiful. Look at those weapons, Heather's going to get. We'll make more weapons. If this campaign does really, really well, if it gets past 1 million, like we'll start making kooky stuff to go with these figures. I want to put a jetpack on Heather Swain. I want to give her a flamethrower. I want to do all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah. This, I know that this is just like a rough Photoshop image, but the smile is kind of terrifying. So I'm excited to see what it
I want to see the finished thing. I felt the same way. I said, it doesn't quite look right on the, because I'm used to seeing her angry with her fist clenched and stuff. But, everybody wants that ponytail head. They like that.
I actually like this one better than the regular one.
Yeah, I've heard people say that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, she does look good with her hair up. Like not all girls look good with ponytails, in my honest opinion, but she actually looks great. And I like the facial expression, like she's about to fuck shit up.
Yeah, we had some of the best sculptors working on these toys. I mean, we have guys, see, you know, deep within some of these big corporate, you know, companies like Sideshow and Hasbro are people who are sympathetic to us, and they don't want to lose their jobs, but they reach out to me and go, I want to help you with Cyberfrog. What can I do? And I'm like, do a sculpt of something for me. I'll buy it. And so we have like the very best sculptors from the very biggest companies. These guys are subversives within these SJW infiltrated large corporations, and they're working with me. And they're, you know, I'm sure they'll work with other comic skaters as well to make their dreams come true. But you know, what they've ended up doing is giving us toys because they believed in it. It wasn't just, this is a job to do. This is something that they really felt passionate about. Our toys are second to none. I really, really do believe that. I believe that Cyberfrog toy, you hand that to a child and your child's going to be very happy with it. If a Cyberfrog fan is going to be thrilled to have that, it's a perfect depiction of the character. And I hope we can make that canon. I hope we can make the bee stung head. I mean, that is awesome. I love that.
I don't know how he's going to survive. Where the heck is his brain?
Yeah, I know. Part of the story.
Nice.
Okay, gotcha. Well, it looks great. I'm very happy for you because I feel like this is something that every artist, when you create something, you dream about something like this and it getting this big. But I mean, I feel like the $40 should be fine because that's what McFarlane did with like the Spawn, right? Like the minimum was $40 for an action figure.
Yeah, and that's the way the crowdfunding works. You know, I mean, the way it works is there's a buy-in price. So the buy-in price is $40. And if all we raise is the minimum, you know, our fixed goal, that's good. You're going to get the action figure as shown. But the more money that we raise, if you tell more people and more people invest and we grow our funding past that fixed goal into a bigger budget, we'll improve everybody's product. The more people back, the more everyone benefits. So we'll make a better package for it. We'll make trading cards. We'll make a comic book insert, more accessories, more improvements. That's what we want to do, and that's what's so fun about crowdfunding.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get more expensive. You know, it's like the better the toy gets, you still only paid $40 for it.
Yeah, I noticed that with, you know, people's campaigns. It's like, I didn't order this, but I got a ton of stuff when, you know, I've gotten stuff in from campaigns that I've supported. So it's like the more money the campaign makes, the more stuff that you get for the initial price that you spent, which will be awesome to get when I get all of my Cyberfrog action figures in once I order them, which I'm
excited. You're gonna love them, Anna. And I'm making like I just told, I'm making a secret Cyberfrog variant. I'll send you one. Somebody in the chat reminded me just to tell people again, this is how this community works. A fan sculpted Heather Swain. You know, somebody who was in my audience said, "Can I show you?" And he sent me over this beautiful digital sculpt of Heather. And it was so beautiful, and she looked just like my character. And I just said, "Can I buy this from you?" And paid them very handsomely for the sculpt, which is now the action figure that you're looking at. And again, one of the most beautiful female figures I've ever seen. That guy is now. I went back to him and I said, "Can I get you to do Lily?" And he went, "I'm busy. I got hired." He's like, so he's a professional. You know, he's doing his own. He's got a bunch of gigs that he's got to handle now, but. So good. There's so much talent in this audience, you know.
Well, can I ask you, is her head, is it because all of my Padme action figures, it's kind of like on a ball so you can turn it side to side?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought.
And the problem is with her hair down like that, it looks beautiful, but she's not, her head is not very posable. Yeah. So that's why we have the ponytail version.
Yeah, because there's one that I have of Padme where it's her head. It's where she's pregnant in episode 3, where she's got like the blue dress and her hair's all curly and down. But what they have it is kind of how on the shoulder of Heather, it's like that, but then all the hair is down the back, so you can still kind of turn her head. It's just hard when you have like, you know, action figures that have the plastic hair.
Yeah, the smiley Heather head, all of her hair is pushed behind her back, so it's going to be a little bit more posable, but. She just looks so good. Like, let me see if you can. Oh, that's the variant, Heather.
Yeah, that's the white one.
Are those two different versions? or is the head interchangeable?
The head is interchangeable. So basically, you know, every time we
Yes, you're right. Just like that.
yeah, it's going to be a little more posable. Every time we reach another $100,000, everyone's figure, like all 4 of the figures, improves. You get something new. So there are heads, there's swap out heads that are already sculpted that people will all get once. I think that is $700,000. I think. Yes. Yeah, and this campaign is going to be going for a long time. The thing about Kickstarter is you only have 30 days. We have 60 days, and then we're going to, assuming we get funded. I mean, if we don't reach $400,000, it's over. Sorry, but I think we're going to at this point. We're going to get funded. We're going to just extend it, and we'll just keep it going until these figures actually come back from, you know, the manufacturer. So hopefully, we will get to 700,000 and beyond that. We've got plenty of time to do it. We just need to get the energy up. We need to let people know. Everyone who sees these toys thinks these toys are great. They might not even like me or Cyberfrog or agree with Comicsgate or the Fandom Menace, but they love the way these toys look, and I think they sell themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think they're awesome. And
Yeah,
I mean,
that one was great. I like that. The Heather Swain one.
I like how she even has a butt.
We had to go through that. Her crotch was a real problem. Like,
yeah,
as soon as we,
I can see that.
it was way worse before. You know, that's the problem with the kind of ball hinge kind of situation on the legs. You know, it really wreaks havoc on your female figure right where you want them to look pretty. So you know, we had to go back and forth, like, and just say, can we kind of as soon as we cut the original sculpt up, it looked weird. So we had to go back and fix it a little bit and actually it was motivated by the fans. I showed them the different versions, and God, I had a poll voting with the fans on how to fix Heather's crotch. That actually did happen on Twitter. But that's the end result. It's not bad. It's pretty good.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things about having people that like certain characters is that they want them to be successful and they don't want it to be a train wreck. Like, if Ryan Johnson posted concept art for, you know, Rose Tico, I guarantee you we wouldn't have ended up with a potato sack. I don't think anyone would vote for that. But even when you have like people that are in audiences that are huge toy collectors, they can, you know, tell you, oh, hey, this one action figure had that problem, but this other company that did this action figure fixed it, or, you know, found a way to, you know, fix this issue, which I see that you did. But are her kneecaps, like, is the cut behind it?
They're double jointed, right? She's got a double joint on the kneecap so that she can basically kick her own ass. But we hid it so cleverly, like that kneecap that's poking out of the jeans is kind of its own sort of padding to hide. See the double joint there?
Yeah.
So it looks really, really good when she bends her knee.
Cool.
What about her feet? Like, are there joints here?
I believe so. Yes. Well, I think so. Scroll up and there's a description of all the different joints. When I got my Paint Master, I didn't play with it too much yet. And we may still be able to cut a couple more articulations in. Cyberfrog's head now.
Right here.
Yeah, I think everything's very cleverly done. People are saying they want a swivel on their biceps, a bicep swivel. We think we can do that. And Cyberfrog's head to turn side to side. I think I can do that too. So.
Yeah, her would be easy. You just put it where her t-shirt is. Yeah, and you have a bunch of interchangeable hands so she can hold stuff. It looks awesome, dude.
Thanks, Hannah. Yeah, I just want to say thanks to everyone who backed it so far, because $200,000 in one day, I think, is my record. I think, Wreck Planet did really, really well, but that's just a comic book. This is an action figure, and a lot of people are putting their faith in this and taking a big chance. And I promise you, you're not going to get let down. You're going to be very happy with your final result. We are great at fulfillment. All Caps Comics is customer service first. We're fulfilling warts and all right now. Everybody's overwhelmed. Warts and all was a great example of how crowdfunding should work. You ask for a little bit of money. You ask for, this is your buy-in. And then over time, as the campaign grows, you get more and more cool stuff. People are getting their warts and all boxes, and they're like, it's like Christmas. The box is huge, and it's filled with Cyberfrog books, coloring books, bonus comics, toys, things like that. All things that they weren't expecting that were just bonuses because so many people backed the campaign. You know, again, I think we're going to offer the same situation here with the action figures.
That's exciting. And I mean, you already made the PVC, so you already took your first step into it. Now you have the actual action figures. And then I saw somebody asking, these are all 6 inches, correct?
Yeah, they're about 6 inches. They're 1/12. I think that's how to pronounce that. 1/12 scale.
Okay. And the Vespis, I'm assuming, is it a little bit bigger?
Yeah, the Vespis is $75, whereas the other figures are $40, because you can see the scale. Basically, what you're seeing there on the screen is roughly the scale between the figures there. He's much bigger.
Mm-hmm. And is this true to size in the comic?
Yes. Yeah, Vespis are like velociraptors, a little bigger than that. I mean, they're big dinosaur type characters in comparison to Cyberfrog and humans.
Gotcha. Well, this is exciting. Everyone, I think you should go back it. Once I get mine, I'll do a review video on it. So I'm going to have to get a few of them just because I was going to check out yesterday, and it's like the white ones are... So the ones that you saw earlier, it was Heather in the white shirt. So what you do is you click on one of these, which I won't because I don't want to dox myself. And then there's little add-ons where you can get more, just in case if you want to have like an army of Vespis, you'd have to add that on as you check out. So there is stuff, you get to see more stuff as you go to check out. So if you guys are interested in that and you want to see more, I would suggest doing that. But this looks awesome, Ethan. And this is what happens when you actually care about the IP that you're working on. I guarantee you we're not going to get this level with the She-Man action figure line that's going to come out.
No,
at all.
No shaved head on the side.
That's right. Shout out to Jay Fairclough out there. Back the Cyberfrog action figure, dude. And all of you guys, please make sure that you do. When payday comes around, if you can. Appreciate it.
Let's see. Hey, well, a few people did.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
No problem. It's exciting. I can't wait to see them once you start putting them in production and seeing how the boxes and all that turn out. But guys, this was only in 2 days because you started this yesterday, right?
Yeah, we started it yesterday at noon. So I'm gonna be up, live streaming and making sure people know and getting the word out. And I'm gonna try to go on other people's channels too and let them know as well. Yeah, this is like campaigning. It's like running for president. You have to go out and shake a lot of hands and meet a lot of people and try to make this work, because I'm not just working on behalf of me. There's no profit in this for me. There just isn't. We're going to barely be able to like pay the bill, hopefully, on getting these figures made. That's our biggest ambition, is being able to just make all this stuff. So in order to do that, and in order to take care of all the people who have already backed it, we're going to be out there letting people know about it.
That's exciting.
I wish there was profit in it. I'll figure out a way.
Maybe the next time. I think once these all come out and you start doing like the ones for maybe the second line of toys that you come out, like with Lily and other characters, that'll probably be where the profit is, because once people actually see it and have it in their hands, they're more incentivized to buy more.
Oh no, I'm gonna make money off. I forgot. I'm gonna be able to make more. I'll be able to sell the extras on eBay. So once they come in, yeah, that'll be the profit. People are like, you hate to say, there's no profit in this. We're just doing this because we love comics. We're not SJWs here. We do try to make money. I just forgot how I was going to do it. I'm so overwhelmed with making these toys. That's what I want to do.
Oh, you're fine. It's exciting though. I'm happy for you. I can't wait to get mine once I ordered them. But when do you think that this, you'll finally be able to put these in production?
So the minute we hit 400,000, I'm putting them in production.
Oh wow!
I've got them. I mean, I've got money. It's so I can go ahead and just advance the money and get these put into production, and then we'll just I'll gauge how I think the campaign's going to do. I'll start putting some of the extra items into production as well. But yeah, I want to have them ready. I know what the schedule is. It's going to take about 6 months from the moment that I press the button to when they're in my hands. So the sooner I press that button, the better. And at this point, I'm thinking February they'll come in. I've given myself leeway for disasters to happen, and I've said, look, they'll come in June, or we'll ship them in June. But yeah, probably next winter, if we get funded, these will begin to ship to people.
That's exciting. Just in time for Christmas, then.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what you could do if you did finally start making videos again? You could have an ad for this in your videos, and you could already have a great video talking about this, considering you were the one that knew about this character.
Yeah, I should do that. I should make
sent you the
videos
link.
again.
I just gave you a video to make content with. Go do
All
that.
right.
Go do that and advertise your action figure so I
The
can.
guy's name is Tim Bias Ellie. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I know.
right in his name. I'm
I know.
biased. Oh God. I mean, yeah, I that's the kind of thing I would talk about. I don't know why everybody has turned on Jeff Johns the way that they have, since he really is a good guy, and I don't get it, but it's everywhere.
Maybe it's because they're all just trying to get in bed with the controversy that what's his face, Cyborg or Cryborg dude did.
Yeah. Oh, we're on your side, right?
And then you actually find out what happened. And then it's like, really? That's what you're crying about? All right, dude. Whatever. People. But back to He-Man after shilling for a little bit.
Thank you, Anna. Appreciate
No
that.
problem. No problem. I am even more frustrated with this now, considering this whole fiasco, and then finding out that this was a race swap character, because this huge fan base that he's claiming this character had, it's like, well, I watched this as a kid and I didn't know who that was, but I wasn't allowed to read the comics, so that could be why. But it's like, really? Okay, so there's not enough room for two white dudes. It's like, well, did you race swap Man-at-Arms? No. You race swapped a different character. Okay, that's probably going to get almost no screen time. And then you turn this other character into a black lesbian. It's like, really, is creativity dead with you guys? It is? Okay, cool. Maybe.
Right.
Well, this also goes in tune with why they don't create their own characters. It's because nobody will remember them. That's why they have to go and change characters that already exist, which this guy kind of admits right here, which I don't know why these idiots engage with people. They should just keep their mouth shut and just get their paycheck, but they like it for some weird twisted reason, but all they do is they're just hurting themselves. I have a feeling the show is going to be a complete flop. Everything that I've seen from Kevin Smith just goes in tune with that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Have you seen the new Kevin Smith video, Ethan?
No. Are you going to play it?
I don't know if I'll get in trouble for playing it. Let me see. So,
Oh, God. He was so much better when he was fat. He really was.
Here, we can go through and do a little EFAP. YouTube, don't kill my channel, please. Please. Okay, I have to mute myself while I play this, or else it will echo.
And as goes Eternia, so goes the entire universe.
King SB Kevin Smith, showrunner of Masters of the Universe Revelation. And I can't wait to geek out with you kids as we look at the final trailer.
How many pop figurines do you fucking need? I mean, what is the matter with you? What are you, a 15-year-old girl? What do you got? How many? They all look the same on your shelf, by the way. They all look the same.
Yeah,
Sorry, Anna.
I hate those things.
Oh, you're fine. I have to pause it every few minutes to not get hit, but I probably already did with that music.
I'm waiting for a long time for this to drop, man. We go back and honor every part of the Masters of the Universe legacy and lore.
No, he didn't. That was a lie. Honor? What? He's lying.
There he goes again with that. We honored it, quote unquote, which is just saying, oh yeah, we brought this character in from the comics, but we completely, race swapped her. But so he can always go back and say, well, I didn't say that exactly.
Yep.
Like, I might cry. I love this so much. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Magic gave
First
birth
voice you hear, the great Lena Headey, man. Look at that. That's pre-Turnia.
creation. But now the magic is gone. And without magic, Eternia will rot and die.
Then we take you to the palace and we introduce you to our players, Adam and Teela, He-Man and Teela.
If I don't do this,
everybody dies. This moment with He-Man going, if I don't do this, everybody dies, and rushing with the sword is so important when you actually see the show. But it defines who that character is.
It's like as if we don't know who He-Man is.
Right.
You know, it defines who He-Man is. It's like, you don't fucking say, dude. It's almost as if he doesn't know anything about He-Man and he's pitching to He-Man fans a He-Man show.
Mm-hmm.
Crying and lying. Somebody says in the chat.
That's 100% true. That's all it says.
That's a good title for a video. Kevin Smith, Crying and Lying.
Whatever became of Eternia?
Triclops, we do something with him that makes the Henry Rollins voiceover for his character absolutely astounding. We use Henry Rollins to the best possible degree.
But the Sword of Power was destroyed.
Not destroyed. Divided.
And you see that part right there? The dividing of the two swords. Now, if you don't have one whole power sword and it's split into two, I wonder what repercussions that's going to have. And look, He-Man got some nipples this time around.
They're obsessed with sexualizing characters and then desexualizing women.
Just the male ones, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Surf Grayskull or Snake Mountain?
Look at Snake Mountain, kids. I mean, yes, it's not as famous as Castle Grayskull or as well known, but anybody that knows Skeletor.
Oh, my God. He's like, it's not as well known. It's like, dude, everyone that watched He-Man knows what Snake Mountain is, you dumbass.
Exactly. Oh, man.
It's frustrating, this phony enthusiasm, too. We see that in some of the Marvel Comics ads where the editors get together and go, you know, I know we've told you this before, but this time we mean it. This is huge. And they act like he's talking to 4-year-olds. And the thing is, 4-year-olds are not going to watch this. You know, he should be speaking to 40-year-olds and actually be talking about this like it matters. It's just a big joke. It's a clown show. Everything. He's trying to be cute. Shut up, Kevin Smith.
Well, me and Steven were talking about this before you got here, Ethan, but it's like, this is somebody that doesn't know anything about what he's talking about. Make a video. It's very fake. It's like, look at this character, and this is the person that's going to be voice acting in it. And then this thing breaks, and it's like, he's just looking at a picture and trying to explain what is in the picture without knowing. So it's very like minimum the amount of details that he gives, but it's
Anna, you think he doesn't know, like he doesn't know what the show is? I mean,
I think he doesn't know anything about He-Man, like the original He-Man. Yeah. Like he obviously knows what the show that he created is about, but him saying that, oh, nobody knew Snake Mountain, it's like, well, it's in every single episode of He-Man, so I'm assuming if you watched He-Man, you know.
Yeah. It's hard, isn't it weird? Like, think about this disconnect, because really you're like, no child cares about Master of the Universe because they're on to Pokemon and, you know, Dragon Ball Z and all these other things. That's what their generation likes. It's our generation. You know, it's like adults who want to remember their childhood and want to have this given to them as a slightly more adult version are the audience. And yet that it's like, to some people, that's embarrassing to have to cope with. So you have to pretend you're selling this to kids. Look, kids, look what I'm doing. There are no kids watching this. It's all fat guys like me. So, I mean, you really do have to, and Anna, and, you know, every now and then an attractive 20-something female. But, you know, you really do have to adjust the way that you're talking about this stuff and be proud of it. And actually talk to a grown man about it. Like, hey, remember, Triclops will, like, you know, we got Henry Rollins to do his voice, and you're gonna love what we're. Talk to people like they're grown-ups. I know it's hard, but oh god, I feel like these people are embarrassed of their jobs sometimes.
I feel like they're just trying to. I don't know. I don't even know what they're trying to do. They're trying to pander to people that never cared to begin with, but then they also want our money. So it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think like what you're saying, Ethan, is like, it's part of the fakeness. You know, he's talking like this is like a toy commercial because he's trying to pretend like, oh yeah, I remember this is just like when I was a kid. And it's like what Anna said, it's like he's just giving out data. You know, it's just like, oh, remember Castle Grayskull and remember this, remember that, and it's like he's not really talking about the show like a fan would.
How do you can hype this stuff up to adults? I've seen Dan DiDio do it, you know, at DC panel discussions. Like he would get up there and he would hype up what's coming up in a way that, you know, the audience, which was largely 25 to like 60-year-olds, would get excited about. There's a way to do it. Kevin Smith doesn't do it, and you know, in this generation of kind of SJW-esque creators, quote unquote, can't do it at all. They have to talk to each other like this is kindergarten.
Right.
Strange.
Well, I mean, all they would have to do is go watch one of the sideshow videos where they're putting the action figure together, you know? They're not talking to you like you're a child because they know children aren't getting the, I hope children aren't getting these $200 plus figures and then are, you know, assembling them. They're talking to you like you're an adult and you're like, this is an art, how to, you know, put this figure together and how to, you know, pose it and stuff.
Yeah.
But they
I appreciate that. I you know, I don't plan to ever let any of this stuff go. I liked He-Man as a kid. I'm probably not going to watch this show. I never liked it that much. It's one of those things that I could let go because it kind of, I don't know, it didn't grow with me the way that Spider-Man or the X-Men, you know, or Batman did. Let's put it that way. Yeah, it just didn't. I just, you know, I look at it and I go, I don't see how I can make this. It'll be, maybe I'll watch a couple of episodes of it. I look at it and I go, the guy's name is Manny Faces and Ram Man. I don't know how this can be made okay for me at the age of 46, but I'll try it.
Macy Van Dusen, thank you for the super chat. This splitting of the Sword of Power seems to be taken from the 80s animated show Black Star, in which the Overlord's Power Star was split into the Power Sword and the Star Sword Gi. You know, I feel like this trope has been done many times where you split the thing of power in half and you send it to different places and then the characters have to go and reunite them. I feel like that's a trope that's been done a lot. But, oh, they're saying 46, not 64. No, 64 is closer than people. But thank you for the super chat. Let's get back to
Tour's Lair knows Snake Mountain. Look at that shot with the gorgeous flowing lava come to life. We spent more on that one Snake Mountain shot than I spent to make all of Clerks.
We all got to work together now.
I see right there, our heroes all working together with the bad guys. That's what has to happen. Things are so dire in Eternia that we're doing team-ups you never imagined because the threat to Eternia is...
I like how they can't have two white girls on screen together, but they're like, oh, no, here's Evelyn. Here's Evelyn and Tila, both white. But this chick, oh, no, we can't have two gingers wherever. I don't think she's.
Yeah, I really appreciate the arms on these bitches. I mean, I really, I don't understand this. That's so hideous. I don't like it. Thank you.
You don't think that's attractive? You
No.
don't think masculinity on a female character is attractive?
No, I really don't. I don't see why women should aspire to be men. You know, we suck. You know, we're not that great. Women are way better. Why don't you just be women? Thank you.
That's sexist because they hate femininity. That's why all of the female characters look like men now.
Right.
To Eternia is that big.
Or else Eternia dies.
Oh my God, Cringer, as voiced by Stephen Root. Can you imagine Milton from Office Space? Look at that, He-Man and Tila fighting, but look at them red eyes. I don't believe it. Justin Long does an amazing Roboto, and Roboto, I promise you, will pull your heartstrings. This is your childhood, just like you remember a kid. Thing is, now you're grown up enough to handle a story where perhaps death is on the menu. That's right, man. Our series is designed to play like the very next.
This is something that I can't stand because he's like, oh, like death is finally on the menu now that you're an adult.
Hello, Transformers, the movie.
Well, what about every single Disney princess? Where are their parents? Every single
Lion
Disney,
King.
where? I know. It's like Mufasa. What about Hansel and Gretel? What was happening in there? Oh yeah, death. They were gonna get eaten, and then the witch is the one that does. Three Little Pigs with the big bad wolf. I mean, if you read any fairy tale, death is a big part of it. So this whole concept, I'm like, I feel like kids actually can handle it a little bit better than adults because they don't really understand the ramifications of dying. Whereas us adults, you know, we know what it's like for people to die. And so it's like, But whatever, Kevin Smith, I digress.
All right.
This episode of the classic cartoon, but in our version, people can stab each other. That's the revelation. How many people die? And what is better than Mark Hamill, the Joker Skywalker himself, as the voice of Skeletor? We only give you a little taste in the trailer, but trust me.
Agreed.
Really, I hate his voice as Skeletor.
I haven't heard it, but I would think it would sound good. I would imagine it sounds just like the Joker, but more gravelly.
No, it's literally just the Joker voice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't like it, but that's just me.
Okay.
You choose the scenery. Mark's performance is amazing. This sequence right here, man, where you see He-Man getting ready to like throw down against Skeletor, has been 40 years in the making, and our amazing directors, Pat and Adam, they told me when I was writing the script, like, these people have been waiting to see these two fight for 40 years, to hit each other, to use the sword against the Havoc staff. So please let them fight. Let them fight. And we did.
You see this right here, though? It was the two directors that told him that they'd been waiting for that for 40 years. So it's like, you would think a true He-Man fan would know that, but he had to be told. So it's like slowly exposing yourself, Kevin Smith. I don't know if you've seen Ethan, but there was tweets going around, and there's like video of Kevin Smith on a show where he talks about how he was never a He-Man fan. Like,
yeah, I heard that. Yeah, he could be a He-Man fan, kind of like I am. Like I liked the toys a lot when I was 10 until my dad told me they were homosexuals, which he did. My dad, when I brought home the He-Man toys, I had He-Man and Skeletor, and I think I had one of the other ones. I think Man at Arms. My dad took them and he said, "These are half-naked muscle men, son." I said, "Yeah." He said, "They're gay." And I said, "What?" He said, "These are gay men." And I said, "Huh?" I was a little kid. But yeah, my dad discouraged He-Man in the house. Yeah, he wasn't thrilled with it. My mom wouldn't let us watch the Dukes of Hazzard either. Mormon household, it was weird. But you know, I liked He-Man. All the other kids, the neighbor kids, played He-Man, but I'm not a big expert on it. And yet, I feel like if I were directing the show, I would do a fucking great job. I didn't like Green Lantern either, but could figure it out pretty quickly. He just seems like he's kind of a goofy fan of everything. You know what I mean? No specialties in anything, just kind of a goofy. Look at his pop figurine shelf.
Yeah, he's just the Hollywood token nerd that they're like, oh, this is kind of nerdy. Let's get Kevin Smith on it. And
he's like, I'm not doing anything else. Sure.
Yeah.
He's just a nerd for hire now, you know. Just
yeah.
All right.
Like I said, it's like this whole thing. It just feels like some infomercial pitch man, you know.
Oh, 100%.
Scareglow. Represented for the first time here, ladies and gentlemen. Heats to debut after having a figure for years. Clamp Champ, Fisto, they're all there.
I have the power!
Stop it.
That score that kicks in.
Don't you ever do that again. Stop opening your mouth that wide. Stop it. The one thing they got right here, Anna, is that Prince Adam is little, you know. That makes sense.
Yeah, in the original, I mean, it's literally just He-Man with a pink shirt and purple pants. Same exact body type, but then in this, they make him, you know, a little scrawny dude. So when you see He-Man, it's like, well, that's a full-grown man, not, you know, a teenager.
Right.
Yeah.
Over that Netflix logo, man, I'll be honest with you, it does something for me. Seeing that logo on something I worked on and hearing Bear McCreary's score over it, incredible, man. July 23rd, only on Netflix, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. So that's that video. I left my little comment. Clownfish TV was right, which they were. It looks like everything is happening the way that it was foretold in, you know, these screenshots that were released of it, and you know what Clownfish TV said from their source. So, yeah. What
Kevin
do you guys
Smith
think?
owes an apology to Clownfish TV. I really think he should apologize.
I think so too. Would you guys mind holding down the fort? I have to pee.
Yes, that's fine, Anna. Let me look in the chat. First of all, I want to threaten Jay Fairclough in the chat, who's sitting there. Jay Fairclough thinks he's so tough. Yeah, right, Jay Fairclough. Sure. Whatever you say, son. Who else is in the chat? I can't really see. Optic Racer 21 says, yeah, Ethan, that's embarrassing. What, when he opens his mouth real big? It's just I don't know. I guess it's what he's doing. Does he make you happy, Stephen, when you see Kevin Smith?
No.
Enthusing.
No. he just comes across as being so fake. It's like you can't even get into whatever it is he's pitching. It's just like it's the same thing, same way. You know, it's like
yeah. He just I think he's meant to just sort of excite the geek crowd, as it were, as if the geek crowd were. I don't know. He's a mascot, isn't he? He's gone from a creative person to like pop geek culture mascot, and I don't know if that's necessarily like the worst thing that could have happened to him. I wonder if he's actually proud of being that, because that's what he gets hired for now.
Yeah, he might be. I mean, he's like, it's like he's mainstream geek, you know. This is like all the people who are like into comics and stuff now because of, well, not even the comics, but just like people into the Marvel, into the MCU, into stuff, just because it's like popular now, because it's trendy. So it's like they bring in somebody like him to appeal to those people. That's how I look at it. It's like he's not a quote unquote real geek, at least not anymore.
Professional geek spokesperson. He speaks geek. Welcome back, Anna.
Thank you. What did I miss?
No, we were just talking about how, is this fate? Kevin Smith went from being kind of an indie auteur artist into pop culture geek spokesperson, like mascot. And it's like, is that like the worst thing that could have happened to him? Because I was watching Entourage about a month ago, rewatching that whole series. And there was this one gag where it's like they're going to make Aquaman 2 and Vinny Chase, the star, is supposed to be in it. But the first one was directed by James Cameron. And he's like, well, who's directing the second one? And they're like, Kevin Smith. He's like, fuck you. Get me out of this. And I'm like,
oh, God,
damn.
Really?
Yeah, damn. I was like, and I think they dissed Kevin Smith twice in that series like that. So it seems like, yeah, like the word around Hollywood was, I don't know, loser or something like that.
Well, that makes sense. What is this? Christopher Prophet, thank you for that. He's the slimy car salesman from Hollywood Geekdom. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Like, he reminded me a lot. Do you guys remember the OxyClean guy?
Yeah, I was just.
Yeah. He reminds me of that guy when he's pitching this.
What was it, Billy Mays, right?
I think so. He died.
Yeah, I just found that out like a week ago. I didn't even know he was gone.
Very sad. It's a good salesman.
Well, it's like, if you want to be a used car salesman, it's like, all right, but maybe you should go watch that old Kurt Russell movie, Used Cars, and like at least make it fun the way you do it. But that's just me. But I'm gonna catch up on super chats if that's okay.
Sure.
Which I apologize, everyone. I'm very far behind.
And I got to get back to work. Can I thank you and just
yeah,
okay, Stephen, great meeting you. Anna, I hope to talk to you again pretty soon. But have a great night, everyone.
Bye. You too. Thanks, Ethan.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. And Stephen, if you need to leave, it's completely fine. I need to read. Need to get through some of these super chats. You're more than welcome to stay if you'd like.
Okay. Yeah, I can stay. I'm gonna step away for just a minute. Okay.
Oh, no problem. All right. Let's see. Let's see. PD, thank you for the super chat. Better title: LGBT Tila Man and the Masters of the Universe. Yeah. Jordy86, thank you for the super chat. Real men wear kilts, not skirts. I agree with you, and I am very excited to see Henry Cavill in a kilt. Let's see. Russell Hall, thank you for the super chat. If the Sword of Power breaks and if they reforge it for Tila, should it be Scissors of Power or remain the phallic symbol supporting the patriarchy? I think I read that earlier. Let's see. Russell Hall, thank you for the super chat. The future belongs to the scissors. Yeah, you should get that trending. Go comment on that video and let Kevin Smith know what he created. Roger H, thank you for the super sticker and the thumbs up. Thank you. Russell Hall, thank you for the super chat. Men also give birth. Oh, well, and then there's a bunch of emojis. Yeah, no comment on that. Thunderstorm, thank you for the super chat. I don't know what's worse, the lack of talent or the woke ideology. # wokedom. See, here's the thing with this show. The animation looks great. I'm usually not a fan of when you have something that is, it looks like 2D art, but it's animated in 3D. That really bothers me. But the animation is the best thing about this, so I would say the woke ideology is the worst part. John Papasirgo, thank you for late to join, but did you see the race swap King Grayskull? Yes, we did talk about that. Dead Ink Pin 41, thank you for the super chat. Mark Hamill has only ever had one evil voice character his whole career. Oh, well, I wish that he would expand. Wolfsbane, thank you for the super chat. Clownfish just posted a vid on He-Man. King Grayskull is apparently black now and is the ancestor of Adam. So does that make He-Man part black? Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. Everyone that is a fan of He-Man is kind of talking about this news. But yeah, as I eat my cookie. Sorry. I chose the wrong time to grab a snack. G-Verse, thank you for 2 super chats in a row. The OG He-Man Adam height and build stays the same when he turns into He-Man, but in this new show, he's small and femme. That alone tells us a lot. I agree. Also, what is He-Man's rainbow transformation? He's He-Man, not Sailor Moon. Oh, is there a rainbow? Let me go back and see that. Let's see. Let's mute that. Where is it? Oh, yeah, you're right. It is rainbow. Oh, geez. Well, now we know what's going on with that. Let's see. Mobar7170. Thank you for 3 super chats in a row. The hijacking of beloved characters into the self-insertion of those who somehow get the reins of what was created during our child is mind-boggling. Honestly, I like watching older movies and older shows because the people that are working in it had lives and had to had to actually work and had to do real life things. So they were well versed in the way that reality is and the way that the world works. Whereas now people are so out of touch with reality that they're like, oh yeah, let's do this. And it's so fake and it's so vapid and none of it is realistic in any way, shape, or form. Even when it's fantasy, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And so, but they aren't talented enough to create something original. So they piggyback on something that was successful, that was built by people that actually had talent before them. And it is mind-boggling. But that's going to keep happening until actual talented people get into Hollywood. Or just do stuff themselves, like what I showed earlier with Ethan's Cyberfrog campaign. Let's see. I meant childhood, LOL. It's okay. Eva Lynn always reminded me of Annie Lennox back in the 80s when I was a kid. Oh, really? That's funny. Rachel Knight Online thing is that a comic I pitched was rejected for not being diverse enough and lacking in activism. I was also told that I need to race swap the main character who's both a Latina and trans. It's never enough. You know what? I 100% believe that because that's exactly right. It's never enough for these people. They just want to be woker and woker. Like, one of the things that I noticed when, the weirdos were coming after me on Twitter was that a bunch of them told me to touch grass. They're like, go outside or go touch grass. And I'm like, well, this is my lawn, bitch. And I posted a picture of me touching my own grass. And I'm just like, this isn't mommy and daddy's grass. This is my actual lawn in my backyard. I'm like, can you say the same? And then they just block me. But now their own phrase about touching grass is ableist in their own opinion. So it's like they're contradicting themselves on their own insults. It's absolutely hilarious to watch these people, these insane people, interact with one another. Chris Stanley, thank you for the super chat. Happy 4th, Anna, Steven, and chat. Cheers. Oh, well, thank you, Chris. Thank you. I appreciate that. Chris Topher, thank you for super chat. Are they saying that over the years, the He-Man line had successfully bred out the inferior dark skin DNA of Grayskull to make the perfect race? ... question mark. Ooh, dangerous territory there. Let's see. Luke Krolvitz art. The only thing Kevin Smith is good for now is seeing how much Hollywood can make a pathetic sellout pod person. Stephen Kraft, thank you for that. Anna, is the 80s haircut avatar driven by your admiration of ornate hairstyles from Star Wars? No, somebody. So I missed a week of the Jack show because I was out of town, and somebody made this of me, and the guys were all laughing at how bad the Photoshop was on the head. They're like, my face was fine Photoshopped on, but they're like, she's missing part of her skull. And then they Googled like crazy 80s hairstyle. This is a real photo that somebody just Photoshopped my face onto, and I thought it was hilarious, so I just use it as my avatar. This is not a real picture. This was a fan from the Jack show made it. But thank you. Let's see. Jeremy Burtz, thank you for the super sticker. And it says, keep it up. Oh, well, thank you. The Dreamer, thank you for super chat. You other brothers can't deny when a non-binary walks in with a little bitty chest and a laser in your face, you get sprung. Baby got lasers. Oh, God. Russell Hall, thank you for all of the LGBTQ plus emojis. Thank you. And then the lesbian coming emojis with pretzel, tongue, lips, and squirting. Lovely. But I expect nothing less. Tommy, thank you for the super chat. She was created on a box from the 80s POG series. Macy Van Dusen, thank you for the super chat. SJWs were outraged with how Princess Leia was portrayed in Return of the Jedi, especially after she strangled one of them. Yep. It's always the land whales that are upset about a beautiful woman like Princess Leia. Diano, thank you for the super sticker, and it is a thumbs up. Well, thank you. Cool man, what's up, dude? Thank you for the super chat. These people are absolutely stupid and incompetent. They can't squat without hijacking an existing property. Also, hi, Anna, Stephen, and Ethan. Oh, well, hello, dude. What is up? What is up? It's been a long time. Fred Sacco, thank you for the super chat. Pre-Trina, thank you for the Pre-Trina. I think that's what Kevin Smith has on his lips. Oh my. And then Coleman, thank you for another super chat, dude. Kevin, if you watch the show, you might know Snake Mountain. I never watched it, so I don't. Yep, basically. Russell Hall, thank you for the scissors. Thank you. I get it. Yeah, because they're lesbians. Ha ha ha. Macy Van Dusen, thank you for the super chat. The splitting of the Sword of Power seems to be taken from the 80s. Oh, I think I read this one. Russell Hall, thank you for the super chat. I don't remember the cat talking. Yeah, Cringer talks. Oh, unless you're talking about something else. Yeah, no, Cringer talks. The Dreamer. Oh, welcome back. Thank you for the super chat. When I was a child, men couldn't get pregnant. I'm not touching that, but thank you for the super chat. Christopher Prophet, thank you for the super chat. He's the slimy car salesman for Hollywood geekdom. Yeah, that's what we all kind of feel. Well, considering he cries at everything, it's like, dude, if you cry at every single movie, it's not special anymore, you know?
Right.
It doesn't mean anything. It's like, well, yeah, you cried at the last movie. You're crying wolf. Nobody's going to believe you.
Yeah, I thought that was a meme he was doing at first, and then it's like, oh, he really does.
Yeah.
It's like I thought he was just making a joke or something, but he cries.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, nobody wants to see that.
No.
Russell Hall, thank you for that. Literally, no woman I know pees as fast as Anna. It's almost like they're not even working with the same equipment. So I've explained this before. My bladder is like a faucet. I can make it go as slow or as fast as I want. That's what happens when you know how to use your lady muscles.
Okay.
I apologize if that was TMI for everyone. But I'm like, okay, when you're in a family of 5 and you're in like you're on an expedition, and you if you take too long in the bathroom, you won't be able to get a snack at the stop. So I learned how to pee extremely fast and how to just empty my bladder almost instantly so I could go run and get my candy at the same time. Because if you took too long, you don't get your candy.
So this is a skill, huh?
Yeah, so I was motivated by the candy as a child. So also it's like, okay, what if, you're working on the ranch and you need to, go behind a bush? You need to go as fast as possible so nobody sees you. So yeah, I mastered the art of emptying my bladder extremely quickly. Chris Sorry if that was too much information for you. Christopher, thank you for that. I bet Tila has the biggest wee of them all. Oh God. Fred Sacco, thank you for that. Tila built the rebashing Rick Rude. Meh. Russell Hall, thank you for the super chat. Is that really Adam or his brother Prince Twinkie? I think it's Prince Twinkie. Sammy Bear King, thank you for super chat. Skinny Adam, cool for the 2002 version. Love He-Man. Super Neil Comics, thank you for super chat. Darn it. Nothing is sacred anymore. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Christopher Prophet, thank you for super chat. Gotta go. Glad you like the big box and that it made you laugh. Keep up the good work. Yes, dude, I really appreciate it. That was awesome. I did try on those costumes. So I got sent an Alita costume and then Luke Skywalker's X-Wing pilot uniform, and I have the helmet now. So I will get a good picture of me wearing it all properly and I'll post it on Instagram. But thank you, Chris. That was so thoughtful, and I sincerely appreciate it. JJ Joestar, thank you for the super chat. At least Halloween Kills looks good. Also, you should have reached 200,000 by now. I think YouTube is something is up to something. Keep it up, friend. Yeah, so I kind of I was telling Steven about this before we went live. So every time my channel is about to hit a milestone, like my video views are great and my growth is great, and then it's like, oh, you're like less than 2,000 away from this, we're gonna freeze it. So it was weird. I remember I was at like 19,000 for like 3 months. And then I finally hit 20,000. And then within a month I was at 100,000. So YouTube is fucking up with me. And so it literally, I saw it happen. Like I was getting, growth. My channel was growing, and then it stopped at 198,711. It stopped. And so it's been like that for a few weeks now, and it's driving me absolutely crazy. And we'll see. I'll have to make like a few videos and just push it out. But that's what she said. I guess that's what he said. That's what I should say. But yeah. So YouTube, when people say, "Oh, YouTube is suppressing my channel," they do that sometimes. And so watch. It'll take me a few months to get to 200,000, even though I'm less than 1,300 away. And then all of a sudden I'll be at like 205 within a week. That's always what happens with YouTube. And so YouTube has like a pattern, especially with certain channels. And at least that's what I've noticed with my channel. So it sucks, but it is what it is. I'll eventually get there. I'm not too worried. So yeah. The Dry Cry thing was that Cringer should be the mascot of the show. It's going to be cringe. Oh my God. Yeah. Russell Hall, thank you for the super chat. Every woman has those same muscles, and yet, well, other women aren't as motivated as me to empty their bladder. Russell, I'm just saying. Super Neil Comics, thank you for the super chat. Hi, Anna and Steve. You rock. Hey. Thank you. Thank you. Let me update because I think I'm almost all cut up. Let's see. Yes. Okay. The Dreamer. Thank you for that. Lady muscles. Excuse me. How dare you? Well, I mean, that's what they are. So, I mean, I don't want to use the scientific term from them because that's just weird. But yeah. Thank you for the super chat. Let's see. I think we covered everything. We're about 2.5 hours in. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Steven?
No, I guess that's it. I think we covered it pretty good.
Yeah, I'll definitely do like individual videos on it. But Steven, is there anything you want to promote or like shill while we're here before we say goodbye?
Well, now you can just follow me, Steven Wayne Art on Twitter, Instagram. It's all the same. If you Google Steven Wayne Art, you'll just get all my social media stuff. Other than that, I just, I sell art prints. You can check those out at Steven Wayne Art and on imprint.com. And that's about it right now. don't have too much going on. Not yet, anyway.
Are you in, or do you do any other live streams where people can catch you on a show?
Not right now. I'm thinking about maybe starting my own show soon. I used to do a show with Ichibaka, but you know, that cut out. Right now, nothing yet.
Just go make sure you're following Steven on Twitter, because he posts a lot of great stuff, and I've actually used it in my videos, especially these He-Man ones. I actually wanted to talk to you. Well, we can talk about it off air, but if you are interested, I don't want to put you on the spot. I have an art channel, and I was thinking, I was like, I want to do a show talking about like different character design and stuff. So if I ever get that going, I'd love to have you on.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. For those that don't know, Steve and I actually went to the same college. And so that's kind of why we were late, because we were reminiscing about school back in the day.
Right.
But everyone, make sure you're following Steven. I have the links in the description of this video. My wonderful mods have been posting that in the chat. Let's see. I will not be hosting the Jack Show this week. I think it's on Kelsey's channel, if Kelsey can make it. Oh, there will not be an episode of the Matriarchy this week because I am going out of town for Anime Matsuri. I might do a stream earlier that day, but it'll just be me. Jesse is out of town as well. But so yeah, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know what you think about this all in the comments of this video. It will also be unlisted and posted onto my live channel, that's Star Wars Girl Live, so make sure you're subscribed over there. And everyone, I hope you have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and may the Force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I'll tell you where I thought I came in the forest, when the lightsaber goes like this and flies off. I said, oh, what a great entrance. Ah! Ray caught it?